Good evening, one and all. It's Sunday, it's the end of the week. It is time for us to be jumping into some more good old Warframe. Welcome in, one and all. And already we are absolutely...
Kangi poke snack hoo Kangi love, let's get that tenant galaxy baby. Kangi hi Kangi can pat.
I'm just going to wait a moment.
An entire year and a half in this amazing community. Cheers to all. No tower damage this time.
Wait, are they here? Kengineer.
Are there any more buttons we can press? Welcome on in, everyone. Thank you very much for the immediate support and generosity right there. Let's go through this bit by bit, shall we? So, from Damon X1, converting that Prime sub into a Tier 1 sub. Damon, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. And then we've got Mirrorlab with the 5 gifted subs. 215 total in the channel now. Musical interlude. Tap. I called for this, didn't I? I asked for it. Oh well. Alright, Mirrorlab, thank you very much for the gifted subs going out there to Bad285, to Lump1992, to Goreskull42, to Meltcat Amy, and to JustGuy1027. Mirrorlab, thank you very much for that, and welcome in again. Glad to see you in your usual good mood. Then we have, following on from that, the Almighty Queen River onto 18 months at the same time as Flowing Thoughts, both onto 18 months in fact. You are subscriber buddies right there, so to the two of you, thank you very much for continuing your support, both of you on Prime as well. Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. Did this myself? Yeah, I probably did still, didn't I? I did. And we've got as well a hydrate there from Queen. Cheers. So now that I'm very quickly going through my tea, thank you to Zabby for the satellite there. Thank you, Andrew, for contributing yet further, and Snake Raider contributing yet further still. We've really gone through almost all of the buttons that are buttonable right now, haven't we? I mean, I ain't got no issue with it, just, wow, alright, we really just hit everything possible to get started, didn't we? We really did. Yo!
Another one.
And indeed, another one there. We got Ronald1998 with a Prime as well. Welcome on in there, Ronald, too. Really appreciate that. Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. I'm saying, oh, indeed, hold on, we missed something? You missed something? About being sub-buddies? Did you go into the void? I mean, if you wish to go to the void, that is entirely up to you. Of course. Fly, thank you very much for the pyramid. There we are. Yep, you are the bit leader of the stream with your pyramid. Absolutely. Cheers, Fly. Alright then, now I think we have reached the limit of our buttons before getting on with the stream, haven't we? Right then, so let me walk you through where we're at. And Queen also wants us to switch to music after that. There was in fact another button remaining. My bad. I apologise. Let us get that button going as well. There you are. Now, today we've got the plan of Netracells. I think I've got 3 of those to do. 10 Glaxion testing, because I already have the weapon. We did that on Wednesday. And then we've got to follow that up with any amount of progress towards getting the coup for Sobek. And Queen's gone. Thanks, Sil. Hello, Travis. Welcome on in. Hello there, Rampage. Finalist button by Queenie. Yeah. That one pretty much is the last of the button presses you can make at that point in time. It kind of restricts your button options when you choose that particular button, doesn't it? At that point, you can't even push my buttons. You're out. The evil is indeed defeated, yes. So, let's head into defeating a different kind of evil. Let's go and throw some beams of burning death at the murmur in Sanctum Anatomica, or at least around it. We're going to get cracking with the Netracells. Now, if you would like to join me on these, whether you've done them yourself or not this week, it doesn't matter. We've got 3 normal Netracells to crank out. And if you'd like to join me on that, send me a message in game. The Kengineer, Mirrorlab is already hot on that. We've got Solomir following it up as well. There we go. That's 2 out of 3 already. Fair do, Flo, fair do. Which could redeem a postcard, gaining bits slowly but surely towards that. Yep, you'll gain your channel points with time, absolutely. Not that it's maybe necessarily important to you, but just as a general reminder of how channel points work. You accrue them over time. You also get more for consecutive streams, like watching consecutive streams. You also get more for gifting a sub. You also get more for being a subscriber. Higher tiers means more spanners over time. And you get more for cheering with bits. So I think it's the first gifted sub and the first 100 bits you cheer in a month also gives you even more. It's like there's a whole bundle of ways of doing it. Yes. Hello, boys and king lords. New to the game? Welcome on in then. Welcome to the stream. Very sorry there, Voltmania. You are a little bit too slow on the draw on that one. And also sent a big message, so you won't be joining anyway.
Hi. In my humble opinion, let's crack that.
Welcome on in, boys and king. I will warn you, we are at a very advanced part of the game because I am not a new player. So you may come across some things here which are somewhat spoilery. That's just fair warning on that. Just fair warning on that. Also, let's have a gander. What modding is this on? Is it currently set up to something good or is it set to something silly? That looks like it might be set to silly. Stormbringer, making force, that's corrosive. Cold, radiation, merciless. Let's give it a try. It's Lavos. How bad could it go? Corrosive, cold, rad, magnetic, because that's how it's set. Corrosive, cold, magnetic radiation. I mean, how bad could it be? These postcard won't get more expensive. The VIP also no longer gets more expensive with each redeem. That one has stopped. At least for now. At 150,000, I think we have quite reached its limit.
Only one way out of the anchor hold. Use that terminal.
There we are. All glyphs acquired. And yeah, still feel free if you want to set up a predictionino and say, do we get an Archon shard out of this? Feel free to set that up. I still have the Sampites equipped. Okay. That's not exactly a weapon I need to be holding right now. And I have Leto Vandal. Well, those are things I've done. Finally run out of that Volt speed boost, and how did I get under there? There we are. I'm just going to open this because I can. Anything in here? Nope, okay. There it is right there. Hello, Skeleton Bros, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome.
This is it.
Okay. Looks like I didn't need to be carrying these key
Whatever
glyphs.
happens next.
What? Wait, hang on. Where have I ended
I
up?
was afraid of this. Netracells security system won't open with all the uglies around.
This isn't where I intended
the
to
system can see you doing it.
be. Where have I ended up? Okay. I don't think I've ever accidentally taken that route before now. That is mildly surprising. Slightly confusing. I'm still trying to actually catch up with the rest of the team to where we were, because evidently I must have got one of the earlier consoles. There we are, I'm in the zone now. And others apparently are not. Y'all realise this, right? Like, the zone's here? just curious. Let's add a whole bunch of radiation to my setup. Oh wow, there's a Necromech. Good thing I got radiation. Yeah, that's gonna cook it. There we go, beautiful. Hello, Jaxo. I can return to Warframe from a break and was curious of your opinion on Deep/Elite Archimedia. I think I did a video on... No, I did on Netracells, didn't I? What was it on Archimedia? I swear I've done a video on the Archimedia. So you need to be loud about the prediction. Will I get a Talforged Archon Shard? You guys can predict with your channel points. It is in the chat right now. Make your predictions, see what you think we'll get, and then you'll get a whole bunch of spammers out of it. Hit that blue channel point icon at the bottom of your chat window. Alright, they've got to go find the drone. Yeah, they're speeding off, so I'm just going to hang back here. I also notice I do not have a companion equipped. Whoops. My bad. I'll fix it after this. Yep, thanks Sil for linking that. I do indeed have videos on Deep Archimedia and Netracells. So yeah, I got you covered on that one there, Jack. So it's probably going to be better to go over that rather than have me ramble half of the ideas at you. Coordinated Ken seems to know what he's talking about a lot more than Stream Ken. A hell of a lot more.
Don't quit now. I gotta know
Stream Ken's juggling too many plates at once, and let me tell you, I'm bad at juggling. I'm very bad at juggling. I'm an uncoordinated mess when I have to handle that many bits and pieces at once. Am I liking the Glaxion? It's basically just a cold Amprex. That's basically what it comes down to. It's got lower crit than the Amprex, but with an appropriate setup, it ends up with about twice the DPS. At least that's what we roughly calculated on a Wednesday. So it's just a beefier Amprex, really. You juggle just not well? I mean, everyone can attempt to juggle. Not everyone succeeds in a way that they're satisfied with, but everyone can attempt to juggle. Back to going in the zone. Well, sounds like we're going to have another neck mech to deal with. Whatever. It is what it is. Enemy intensity increasing. Oh, create high base damage to Amprex. Yeah, it's also cold. It's also much higher status. It has, I think, one additional chain on it. It feels like it has a long range. I'll have to verify that. Yeah. Higher status is putting it very lightly. I'm going to go get that ribbon sliver. Yoink. I don't need more, but it's there, so I'm going to grab more. Because I can. Let's switch to corrosive. Because that kind of slightly melts through the Culverins. The Culverins absolutely hate corrosive. If you can get a load of corrosive procs onto them, they just evaporate. It's brilliant. Whereas all these other enemies, well, they're not exactly armoured. As in, they're not armoured. But they also don't seem to resist the damage, so just straight up extra damage. Murders them. Very nice. Dash our way in.
You're in.
Let's show Glaxion build after you return to Orbiter. Sure.
Can't wait to see what you got when you get back here.
Grab that. There we go. Grab this as well because it's right there. Corrosive still better against the armoured ones compared to radiation. Corrosive damage is weak than radiation damage against the armoured ones, is my understanding. We can double check that as we go. But it's the corrosive procs absolutely shredding their high level armour that does it. We got a one over here? Yes, we have. Okay. Oh wait, no, these are ferrite armoured. Oh, never mind. Sorry, for some reason I thought they were alloy armoured to fit with the radiation thing. Never mind, just corrosive kills them. Yeah, corrosive. Don't know why I thought they were alloy armoured then. Huh. Alright, yeah, no, just corrosive all the way through. Burn them down. Radiation is just for the actual murmur. Because it would have made sense. Yeah, I suppose if we go for a whole radiation thing. I mean, that whole discussion's going to be changing anyway. So whilst it's corrosive today, soon it won't be.
One must.
Soon it won't be. I highly doubt you're going to make the Murmur faction weak to corrosive. Yeah, this is the Glaxion build that I'm currently using and giving it well. So this is focusing on a lot of corrosive damage. We've got cold added in further from Rhyme rounds, because hey, why not? Let's just enhance the basic cold of it and the basic status output. We've got radiated reload for some radiation in there. The whole lot works together very nicely with the innate cold and then magnetic progenitor. The reason I have to go for cold rather than something else on this is that if I go for heat, then I'll end up with blast, not cold. That ain't helpful. And if I go for any other element, well, that'll actually just be part of the corrosive. So then I just get small amounts of cold rather than a decent amount. And if I take the cold out, you can see the cold drops down to 34, which is less, almost less than the radiation at that point. Whereas with it, 65, it's competing with the corrosive, so we gain both in decent numbers. Gonna need to close the prediction. You voted? Oh, okay, so yeah, photo. So we got normal shard. Yeah, so if you are going to run a prediction, I'm going to need you to run the prediction, please. Because otherwise, if you give it too long of a timer, people can join it whilst the answer is known. So yeah, if you're not setting the timer right on it, I'm going to need you to manage it. Well, that's all. Finish what you started. Whilst I'm at it, let's grab a Sentinel, because I didn't bring that last time. A little bit silly. There we are, that should improve my output, and off we go again. Fair do, still fair do. Hope you've had yourself a good weekend as well, my dude.
You or your squad need to grab all 4.
Where to put the new Glaxion orbment? It depends on the build you're going for.
I won't lie.
Really does depend on
No
that.
version of this that feels good.
So I'll have a triple check at that later on. If I recall, the Glaxion orbment is basically just crit damage and energy orb.
You got your glyphs. So
for someone like Lavos who doesn't really care that much about the energy orbs, I wouldn't actually need to use the orbment. I need to actually get this started. Oh, why is it an Xmas to start? Come on! Initial stacks, why you be like this? This is my issue with having to get initial stacks of weapons. Look at that. Look at the difference now. Now I've got a couple stacks. Look how much easier it suddenly becomes. Now we're getting there. Now we got the damage bonuses. The absolute difference. Even the Xmas. Bam. Getting initial stacks of weapons is very important when they get it like this, because without them they suck. Also, where's that waypoint trying to send me? Ah, here. I lost it in the fog.
Using the key glyphs will open the Netracell. So be ready. That wasn't the right key glyph.
I'm on my way with the key glyphs. Just trying to make it where my weapon would actually do something. Even now, lost a little bit of power just getting here.
Wrong key glyph. Try another one.
Go, Stagfer. Oh, didn't need me together anyway. Alright, sure, why not? Shows what say. I see quite a few players referring to Warframe break since 2017. We're nice to be playing a catch-up video since War of Inquest. I wasn't planning a catch-up video, quite frankly, no. I feel like that has been covered in some areas in the first place. It wouldn't particularly interest me to try and guess what is important enough to people who've been away for such an extended amount of time. Like, if you've been away from Warframe since 2017, for example, good God, you've been away longer than I've been playing, you know? That's a heck of a lot to cover, including some updates which have since already been changed or removed. That's a heck of a lot to cover. You might as well just act as if you're a new player at that point. You are a new player at that point. The systems are so different in many places. Sure, there's a lot that's the same, but the video is going to be about what's different and everything that matters. Yeah. Do you get an alcohol shot every run of this? Not every run, no. Not every run. Also, I see we've got a new prediction up for those of you who want to gamble on what we're getting here. Will I get a Tau Forge Archon shard is the question. Gamble your channel points on the answer. You've just restarted since 2014. The game is... You basically gave up on the game like a year after it existed. The whole game's completely different at this point. Like, what you saw was the alpha. Now we have the full release. Near enough. It's not actually full release, but as good as. You're a completely new player if you restarted after 2014 like that. In which case, welcome on in. Enjoy, but yeah. Kind of Glaxion looks strong. Do bear in mind that we have got some serious buffage going on here. So I've got a 200% corrosive buff from Lavos. I've got a nourish buff of some unknown amount here from an ally. I've got Arcane Avenger cracking on it as well. All those bits and pieces coming together to further enhance its power on top of all the modding. So do bear that in mind if you compare it to any of your existing weapons. Those buffs are in play. Do you think it's generally not worth it to grind out Lich and Sister to get the projectile bonus, although 60%, would you say it's a necessary min-maxing? To get it to 60% isn't necessary. It is a contribution to your damage, but it's not the biggest contribution to your damage. Because you know what, let's just stand still in the middle of the Netracells, it's fine. So, from minimum to maximum, you increase your damage by 28%. Straight up, from minimum to maximum bonus, you increase your damage by 28%. If that damage bonus from your progenitor is helpful to your damage output, like the actual damage type or status weighting, then it will be more than 28% realistically. And likewise, if the base damage of the weapon is more important, or if the progenitor element is just kind of present, then it's at most 28%. Also consider whether you're likely to use Lich weapons over something like an Incarnate. There is that too, yes. Only upgrade the weapons you're actively using. If you spend time, certainly on Lich sister weapons, upgraded them when you're only going to use them occasionally at best, I don't think that's going to be the most enjoyable use of your time. If you enjoy just running the missions, go ahead and enjoy them. It's irrelevant at that point. You can just sell the sisters and Liches. But if you use them to upgrade your weapons and you don't use the weapons, well, I mean, that should just be obvious, really.
Okay.
At that point, it's not necessary.
Next time.
There we are. As I say, I heard Glaxion wasn't actually all that great compared to Phantasma. Can't test myself, I hope it's not true. Probably true, beam shotguns were about strong. I mean, we can have a look at the Phantasma later to compare against. Yup. Will we get it out forged? The answer today is not on this run. Nope. There we are. Yeah. Obviously, say, haven't done any of the new quests within the last year. Get to them. Absolutely. Get to them. No point sitting on them. Isn't Phantasma a single target? I will triple check the details later. It's not a weapon I regularly use, so there's going to be quirks about it I don't remember.
Come on. That's at least
Gritter saying, hey Kerr, wanted to ask a question regarding the progenitor bonus for the Tenet and Kuva weapons. Why does the bonus not seem to add to the bonus as I'd expect? When using a Tenet to show over heat bonus uses 60-60 viral modding and plus 90 heat damage, and heat procs are less likely than the viral, even though the added bonus in my mind would be swapped. Okay, right, Gorilla, let's unpack this very quickly and very carefully. So, I closed the previous Gambler, it was already done. Because we got to the end of mission, I had to close it before it got to the stream, because otherwise people would start cheat predicting. I noticed you hadn't closed it, and I hit it straight away. Okay, so Gorilla, if you've got a 60% bonus and a 90% heat mod, you're going to have... that 90 is going to multiply with the 1.6 total, so effectively it's 144 versus the ultimate base, plus 60 for 204% equivalent. Whereas the 60/60s are multiplying with a whole lot, so 120 times 1.6, that comes out to 192. So you should be getting just slightly more heat than Viral there. Just slightly more.
Are we heading out then?
And if you're not, with a 60% Zenit weapon, then let's have a look at it. Send a screenshot to me on Discord.
Let's go. All right. What's his is ours.
When you do, make sure you have all of the mods visible there, and I'm going to need to see the elemental breakdown of your weapon on the left-hand side in the arsenal screen.
You need all 4 key glyphs.
That will give me all the information necessary in itself. Assuming you remember that things like Nourish also interact with that. Did I also try Punch through Lieutenant Glaxion? Yes, it does enhance the output of the weapon.
So
if I'm not using it on this build right now, it's because I was still in the process of working on it, which is what part of today's stream is about. Come on, get that first kill. There we go. Now we can get the other kills. Might need to do multiple screenshots, but we're fine. Hate data screen sometimes weapons. You shouldn't need multiple for the Lieutenant Glaxion. A single screenshot, which includes the damage breakdown on the left-hand side, and your modding will be sufficient. If you can't get it into that, I wonder what you're doing to the weapon, quite frankly. That should be enough. Alright, let's make our way over this way. Dash forwards. Managed to avoid falling into the gap there, which is always nice.
using the key glyphs will open the Netracell.
Netracell has been found. Just need to have myself over to it. I've got all the key glyphs. There we are. And it's active.
I was afraid of this. Netracell security system won't open with all the uglies around.
Yeah, we got another prediction up. If anyone thinks I'll get a towel forged on this run, make sure you predict on that. And if you think I won't, predict against it. It's a very, very simple process. And it could make you spanner rich. Is there a way to farm Archon shards steadily, or are they strictly time-gated? Strictly time-gated. So you've got the Archon hunts once per week. You've got the purchase from Bird 3 once per week. You've got the Netracells and Elite, or standard Deep Archimedia. Total of 5 pulses. Can get you a bunch of shards as well. Minimum of 2 per week obtained. And on average, more than that. Significantly. But once you've done all of those sources, the 5 pulses, the bird shop, and you've done the Archon hunt for the week, that's it. That's your shards. I don't think DE have any plans to make them less time-gated in any way. I've not heard of any suggestions to address that, so it is what it is on that side for now. Nekomai needs to be hit. One of them are clearly going to get that before I get there. What range was I hitting to there? That was about 25 meters? Nope, that's 26 now it's hitting it. I'll test the range later. I'll try that properly at a different spot. Archon feels really lackluster after Netracells and Archimedia. Extra shells always appreciated. Yeah, it's just work on whichever one you can handle, really. The Archon hunts are lower level than this, so it kind of makes sense that their rewards would also feel lower level. That does make sense. Especially as this adds all kinds of additional challenges to you, and the Elite Archimedia, my god, does that really stack on the challenges in comparison to an Archon hunt. Like, the difference in apparent difficulty is obscene. So yeah. You can't gamble smiles in your region? Ah, that's unfortunate. That is just the case with some countries. Nothing you can do about that one. Slowly but surely, we are getting closer to victory here. Just gotta make sure they're in the zone before we pop them. They are not in the zone, so I cannot go for those ones. Hello there, spirits. Welcome on in. It's fully stacked up. This weapon definitely does get some good hits in. Heal it. Okay, let's go anatomize, and it's dead. This one, dead. We're going to dead, but that's a little doggo. Doggos barely count. What's a Glaxion Tetra? Alright, well, we'll have a look. Can I ask? You know, it's easier to just ask a question than ask if you can ask questions. Just point that out there. So what's your question, soldier? Your skin's in Warframe console, not showing on account on PC. Did you merge your accounts? And if so, did you follow carefully both the information presented in the merging section and the steps on how to ensure you keep your skins? Two very important steps there. Have you merged them, and did you verify all of it? You've merged? Okay. If you merged the accounts, then you should see the same stuff when you log into both console and PC. Do you see the same stuff when you log into both console and PC? You've got the same Warframe, same weapons, same mods, and it's just the skins. Because if it's just the skins which are different, then you're running up against console restrictions. There are certain platforms where skins bought on one cannot be used on another. And if it's everything is different, different mods, different Warframes, then you're logging into the wrong account. That's why I ask on that side. If you do see you've got different mods, different Warframes, not just cosmetics, then you may want to get in touch with DE support. Once you've double checked, it's definitely supposed to be the same account that's merged. You could just be signing into the wrong details. Believe me, it's surprising, but it happens. Even when you think you've checked the details. But if that's not the case, and it's still wrong, then contact support. There we are then. And that is another not Tower Forge shard. Unsurprising, really. We don't get loads of them from this. Still. So, where's the prediction gone? I went to have a look at it. It says start prediction. I swear it looked like it just vanished. You've already closed it and sorted it. When you say you've closed it, I should still have a record of it. But now what I'm seeing is, will shard be Tower Forged? It's a different one. You'll see it on screen? Okay. Then it's... If you guys can see it, that's fine then. It just means that Twitch is having a moment. Yeah, I'm just going to refresh that. Twitch is clearly having a moment. No worries then. There we are. Now it's refreshed and showing the correct one. Yep, don't know how it managed that one. That's impressive. Thanks, Twitch. Glad I can always rely on you to be absolutely useless. Right then. Solmir, Miralabe, and that was T-Jack? T-Jack, thank you very much for joining in on the Netracells and enjoy your loot there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Alright, let's close off those old tabs. So, Tenet Glaxiones, as we saw there, was getting a little bit of work done. Absolutely. It's all good still. It's all good. It is easy for these things to get messed up because Twitch UI is both unintuitive and unforgiving, but it turns out in this case it was just an info bug. It was giving me the wrong info. Yeah. So, this setup here, as we saw, was doing plenty of good work. However, there is the somewhat critical issue, as it were, in that I wasn't using Prime Shred. I could, instead of having the cold there, I could just have Prime Shred on it. We lose cold, we lose status, but this gives us punch through and fire rate, which could work better overall there. And this is working very specifically with Lavos having this green shard on here as well, which is increasing those corrosive stacks up to 13 rather than 10. And that gets a lot of work done. I'm a little curious to see how that rolls out now. Was I using also Avenger? Yes, I was. Good, good. Spirit saying, create a new account, PlayStation, enter Bay, all skins, Ash, and I back to PC is not showing. Yeah, okay. So if you've created a new account, they can't be merged. They could be linked. I did ask if you read the information that was presented to you on the screen very clearly about that. Second, if you are having further issues with your account, at this point, we've given basic pointers. As I said, if you're still not seeing the items, you need to contact support. They're going to help you. Groverglock asking, would point straight be better on average for damage since critical chance on the Glaxion isn't great and the fire rate is very good? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this, shall we? Queen, don't make your return message screaming. Come on. So let's have a gander at this, shall we? So, bringing up the point of critical delay versus point strike due to it having a minus 20% fire rate, that accounting for the fact that also we use Prime Shred, and I have a companion giving me 60% fire rate as well. So, let's look at it from all three angles on that one. Let's bring it out. So for this, we're going to want to have a notepad. We're just going to want to have a notepad. It's going to be the best way to handle this. So let's get that up onto here. There we are. Yeah, it's all good up on there. So, option 1. That is critical delay versus point strike. So with critical delay, we're ending up on a... And we're going to consider those without the fire rate bonuses. So let's take off Prime Shred, just so I can easily see the numbers here. Let's take off the companion. So if you weren't using other fire rate bonuses, we're just dealing with the fire rate negative that we have here. With crit delay, we have... I need to put crit delay, not CD, because CD to me is crit damage. With crit delay, we have a fire rate of 9.6. We have a crit damage of 4.8 times. And crit chance of 60%. All other details are irrelevant, because all of them will multiply in with the rest of the stats. So we only need to look at these. So we can just do 9.6 multiplied by 1 plus 60% that itself is multiplied by 4.8 minus 1. That's actually 4.84. I know it says 4.8, but it's actually 4.84. And this value here, I can actually just copy that into Google search. It gives me the answer. I put X, it's meant to be a 1. That's silly of me. So that comes out to 31.7. Okay. 3 6 figures is good enough for this. If instead we have Point Strike, and we can just do this right here, we can see the changes on that one. So these stats here have changed instead to 12, and that has changed to a 50%. This equation, it's now 12 here, it's now 50% here. If we run that all through, our survey says 35.0. So if you were only using crit delay versus point strike and no other fire rate modifiers, then yeah, absolutely, point strike would be the way to go. If that's the way we're going. Let's add our companion in. Having a companion for plus fire rate and plus critical damage is a pretty common thing, I'd say. You don't have to use it, but I highly recommend it because of the sheer impact that it gives. So let's go ahead and equip said companion. It's just so valuable. Yeah, I'm aware on the general rule of thumbs on, but let's answer the question properly. So this is option 2, comparing with companion added. We can actually lose that line because it says the same thing. So once again, our crit delay, our fire rate has now increased to 19.2, which now, that's point strike. Whoopsies. Fine, we'll put in the point strike details first. Our crit damage has increased to 6.04, and our crit chance is still at 50%. With crit delay, the results would actually be there we are, 16.8, there we are, and 60%. So we can run these numbers through again. We can run those numbers through again. So grab this up here. With the companion added in, giving us 16.8 here and 6.04 here. That one now has a value of 67.6. You can see just how valuable the companion is. It more than doubles the output of our weapon. That's how powerful it is. And if we do the same down here with the adjusted rates, copy that in, paste it in, comes to 67.6. I'm going to need more significant figures. So the top one comes to 67.6032. And this one, curiously enough, comes to 67,58400. There we are. I'm just doing it to that many sig figs. I mean, look at how close that is. They're not the same. They are very, very nearly the same, using just the companion added into it. Oh, that is a very sun-heated phone you got there, Ray. Welcome on in all the same. Oh. Intex saying I usually use Shred along with crit delay, but doesn't punch through mess up the Glaxion's chains and stuff like that. Maybe him punch through being bad for Torrid and Carnan. Torrid and Carnan is not the Glaxion. They are two different weapons, so just a fair point on that one to start. Second, it doesn't mess it up. It actually improves it. Punch through allows it to hit multiple enemies with the primary beam and therefore splinter more times over. So it's worth it. Share companion build? Yeah, one moment. Once we're done with this bit. Option 3. Adding primed shred. Now at this point you probably know where this is going to go, because if we're adding fire rate to both of them but one of them starts with a lower fire rate, it effectively ends up with a greater overall bonus. Sorry, a lower fire rate bonus ends with a greater overall fire rate bonus. So we'll just run the numbers through anyway, but you'll probably see that crit delay is going to come out on top. So let's grab our primed shred. There we are. All good on that. So the fire rate on this one now jumps up to 23.4. All of the stats functionally the same. Just got that there. And then for the point strike one, we'll just grab that now. Point strike. Where'd it go? I said point strike. There it is. I don't think that's going to fit on there, so I'm just going to have to shufty that out for a second. Doesn't really matter. 25.8. Cool. So again, we can just run these simple little numbers through. That is 23.4 times 60% of whatever that lot comes out to. That is 94.1616. And I know my head's in the way of some of this, but just gonna have to deal with that right now. There we are. Ooh, that was not what I was meant to do. And down here, 25.8, 50%, running those details through, comes to 90.816. And thank you very much for the hydrate. Oh. Cheers. So I'll say just how much is the crit bond, because that's the one I usually struggle to find all that helpful, since it's typically sacrificing damage of Verglass or deconstructive priming of Hellstrom. We can compare on all that. Lo-fi, because music's competing with you. Sure, let's do that. Okay. There you are. So what we're seeing here is that critical delay does end up with a higher overall effect. If you choose to use point strike instead, it doesn't really matter all that hugely. So if you are adding fire rate to the weapon some way somehow, be it your companion or be it prime shred, then you're probably okay using critical delay. If you're not adding fire rate, then you'll want to use point strike instead, which is again meeting very nicely this standard fare. Now, this doesn't take into account Arcane Avenger. If you use Arcane Avenger, then the total increase in your damage output, like the effective damage increase, is going to be less, and at that point, the additional fire rate is probably going to be better. So I'm just going to run these numbers again, but with Arcane Avenger's bonus added in here. I'm not going to do the whole scribbling out of all the details. Let's just... This will be 105, and this will be 95, because we're adding 45% from Arcane Avenger. Let's run those through onto here, and see how it changes these numbers. Actually, let's make this cleaner to look at. There we go. There we go. Right then, so this will be the Avenger one. This will be the Avenger one. The numbers actually come out to... that one's 105.7. And this one is 111.1. And again, I'm not going to care about correlating the decimal places at this point. So interestingly there, albeit with the companion added in, when it's close to the breakpoint, by adding in Arcane Avenger, it then becomes better to go point strike again. Which raises the question, what about on the build with Prime Shred added in? It's worth questioning it. These are full builds we're needing to consider here. So let's get all the details and then we can draw our proper conclusions. And these are the same calculations that you guys can do yourself. And really, if you're going to quibble over your efficiencies, you should be doing these equations yourself. If you're going to try and make your own builds, run the numbers. For those of you who are a proper Cuppa supporter over on Patreon, you'll have access to all of the past spreadsheets and details and whatnot I have there. And that includes a weapon calculator where you can put in the details side by side and get the full values printed out in front of you. It's very picky to get through, granted, because you're dealing with very detailed mathematics at that point, but it's a calculator that'll give you your damage output in burst, sustain, status output. It'll handle mods like internal bleeding and hunter munitions. It's all in there. Or you could just let someone else do a build and copy it. 147.2 for this one. This just shows just how effective Arcane Avenger is as well. Like, holy hell. That is one heck of an increase when you add on the Avenger. And this one comes to 149.3. Well, there we go then. There we go. That's actually, to me, pretty conclusive. With Arcane Avenger added in, the bonus, the extra bonus on crit delay just cannot make up for the fire rate loss. If you are using Arcane Avenger, Point Strike is going to be better. What about reload? We're not going to take into account reload time. Reload time is accounted for in the spreadsheet that I have on Patreon. I'm not going to account for it here. Because your reload is going to be a very small amount of your overall firing, and very few people actually maintain their firing at optimal rates. Very, very few people. But for the time that you are firing, which is the most crucial element of it, the Point Strike setup is stronger if you're using Arcane Avenger. If you're not using Arcane Avenger, Point Strike is still better until your total fire rate bonuses are over 60%. That's what it comes down to there. That's what it comes down to. So yeah, Point Strike is going to largely be the better one on this one. Should we take critical tier into account? Why should we, Lamona? What part of this do you think is not taking into account critical tier? Because just a quick FYI on this one, and I know I've got the brackets there, I really should have a double bracket on the end, which is what's actually happening. Queen, cheers. Oh. What is happening here is we are looking at the average output, and the average output is what's going to matter long term. You don't need to calculate for orange crits and yellow crits and red crits and try to figure them all between. You just average it. The average is what matters. And right here, this term, we've got our critical chance multiplied by 1 less than our critical multiplier, and that is added to 1, which is effectively our base damage multiplier. So in this top line here, for example, we've got whatever other bonuses are relevant, multiplied by normal hits, and the chance of a critical hit multiplied by the extra damage you get from said critical hit. When it goes over 100%, so you start having the chance to land orange crits, you'll always have at least one bonus of the critical bonus and a 5% chance to get the critical bonus again. So the average is actually pre-calculated here for you. You don't need to quibble and worry about critical tiers. The equation actually just handles that for you straight away. Travis saying, this is why I'll just take your builds word for word. Fair enough, thank you. Can I say, I like critical delay because I like seeing more yellow numbers. Oh yeah, there is that to take into account here. If you use critical delay, you can hit those higher crits. If you're not using critical delay, you can't. Not with that setup anyway. But the average output will end up better because of the fire rate. And the average status output will be higher because of the fire rate. And any further changes you make to these, like if you don't use the fire rate on your companion, or if you don't use the crit damage on your companion, that's going to make further differences still. It always will. It has to. If you take off the fire rate, because we've shown that more fire rate is better for crit delay, taking off fire rate is better for point strike. If you take off critical damage, you're going to reduce the benefit of getting crit chance, therefore the lower crit chance will be better, which again points towards point strike. And considering point strike is already the winner, if we use the Arcane Avenger, pretty much anything other than a Prime Shred companion boosted double setup, no Arcane Avenger approach, only that would be a critical delay winner. The rest of them is point strike. Should I say, this is plain maths, but do you ever just run simulations for a bit to get an average for some research? It depends on what you mean by simulations for a bit to get an average for some research. Like, for what? I do run simulations for things in Warframe where it's relevant. Damage calculation is not one of them because it doesn't need to happen. There's literally no reason for it to happen there. All I've been simulating is this pre-calculated average and seeing, have I run enough simulations to hit average or not? After very little time, the answer will be yes. So, with that in mind, with the polarity I've got at the moment, this rotation of mods here still gives me my corrosives, so that's good. Stormbringer can sit there, point strikes there, and yeah, we're Gucci. We are Gucci. Just interested in my general methods? Yeah, that's absolutely fine, Shenania. With any of the mathier stuff, if I ever do run simulations for a video, then the simulation code and simulation data, if relevant, will go up onto Patreon as well. That's part of Meet the Math. So those who support me on that part of Patreon, they get access to that as well. And that's, I think that comes out to about, if not slightly over the cost of a subscription here on Twitch. It's around the same area. Does Prime Shed do anything that Val Acceleration doesn't? Punch Through. You don't know if Punch Through affects beams? It does. At least it does affect this one. And it's very, 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 very easy to demonstrate. So let me demonstrate. Exceptionally easy to demonstrate. Hello, right? Welcome on in. And it's alright. If you want to just lurk, you are welcome to lurk. As much as streamers do love love interacting with chat, as much as we do love that, it's only when you've got things to say, really. If you just sat back enjoying the stream, fine. Absolutely. Alright, let's grab ourselves a whole bunch of units. I'm going to grab Xmas so they don't just flail around like idiots. Let's give them a nice big bunch of levels. And keep them all paused. And to get started, let's grab the Glaxion without any punch through on it. Alrighty. No punch through, just heavy stats. Worm might cause us to get knocked over at some point, we'll see. You can see here, if I shoot this guy, it hits all the way up there. And if I position myself here, so that it would go through if I had punch through, you can see we're only hitting these ones. As this status all the way to the back, no one else gets anything on them. Pretty conclusive so far. We can see the chain goes up to 3 additional enemies, 4 total hits. So we add on the Prime Shred, interact with the console to make sure we remove any spawn bugs. Boom. Instantly you can see we are now hitting all the way to the back, and we've got a sideward chain from the next one we hit. If we change our targeting, we change the nature of how many get hit. So that was chaining all the way down here. If we go crosswards like this, we can see with this setup, I'm hitting him, and him, and him, and him, and him, and him. And if we go like this, wow, that's a whole bunch of them being hit. That is a whole bunch of them being hit there. So punch through does improve the weapon because it means you can get more starting targets to cause chains to come out of. That's just punch through? Yeah, that's punch through. It's not guaranteed to give you lots of brilliant chains, but it can give you more chains. I think it will actually always give you the chains. It's just a case of if you hit additional enemies, it's just a case of you may not see it as much. Like here, when I was targeting these guys, it was pretty much just hitting the same couple. Actually, we've hit this one as well now. I imagine I'd have to really check it frame by frame to verify this, because look at that fire rate. I'd have to nerf the fire rate to test this, but I would imagine the extra chains we don't see happening, what's happening there is they're chaining to enemies already in the chain, so they're getting hit multiple times over. Yeah. Does critical only go to 6 times critical? No. No, absolutely not. I was messing around with Clevo, Hot Fisher buff, and Warframe. We got critical buffs with 1, and yet there was no more damage. It stops at red crits with 3 exclamation marks. Basically, this hard. Are you sure there was no more damage, or did the exclamation mark stop? Those are two very, very different things, Adamin. Did the damage stop increasing from 6th tier to 7, 8, 9, 10, or did just the exclamation mark stop? Very crucial you share that before I can go any further on this one. And it'll say, it's just randomly testing. Notice acid shells isn't working on either of the Sobeks. In which case you need to report that. Exclamation mark bug. Exclamation mark bug on that. So, Point Strike, no point, well, Point Strike is also good, but Prime Shred, Point Strike, both good things to have on Tenet Glaxion. Pretty much regardless, especially due to the crit chance being where it is, and because Arcane Avenger is an amazing pickup for it. Being able to unlock the other half of your critical multiplier is absolutely huge. With 50% crit chance and the 6 times multiplier, you'll be getting 6 times half the time and 1 times half the time, averages 3.5. If you instead have the extra 45% from Arcane Avenger, we get 6 times 95% of the time, and 1 times 5% of the time. That comes out to 5.75, up from 3.5. Oops, 5.75 divided by 3.5. That is a 64% damage increase for Arcane Avenger on this. Yeah. Righty. Adamin, without buff I was doing about 1 or 2 millions per attack and it would not go higher even though I got bonus critical chance. Okay. Let's have a quick gander Renos then. See if I can't sort something out. Let's grab the super new build and wow, I've already broken it, so let's break it again. Strength plus all of it. Blight Rage, Transient Fortitude, Umbral Intensify. How are we doing so far? 596. Yeah, that's good enough. We can add on more strength in a moment. And I'm going to grab a different weapon. Let's grab one that has no crits built into it. I think that might be the smartest way of doing this. Well, not no crits, but really low crits. So I think the Heat Sword might be a good shout. Oh yeah, 5% crit chance. That's beautiful. Oh. Gotta love me a 5% crit chance. Alright, let's see what happens with you. I fall over. Excuse me, sorry. Gotta get rid of the worm. It being dumb. That should fix my issues. And let's get ourselves one. I think I just fell over again. I really hate this bug. I really hate this bug. They said they fixed it. They only fixed half of it. Okay. Let's have a ganders here, shall we? So, with this current setup, we are going to be getting 5% crit chance plus 596%. So, if we use our ability here, we'll have 601%. We're basically only going to hit 6th tier criticals. And what we can do is we can verify the amount of damage we'll do before the crits as well. Like that. 414. Oop. So I need the forward strike. 414. Very easy to see how much value that gives us there. So let's again grab the notepad. We don't need all these other details. So 414 is what we've got. Let's turn that into some crit action. 1656, and we can see that pretty consistently there. 1656. Okie dokie. And let's just verify the critical damage that we get from this weapon here is a 1.5 times multiplier, which means that 6 tiers we're getting 3 times extra damage, so a total of 4 times. 414 times 4, what do you know? 1656. So far that's working. So let's now force ourselves to 7th tier. Let's get that extra 50% strength, I think it is. Strength. So if we go for you, and we go for you, need a little bit more to make sure that we're definitely getting just that. The best way to go about this is probably going to be growing power, isn't it? Oh wait, no, power drift. There it is. 700%. Alright, so now we're going to hit 7th or 8th tier crits only. Let's do that. Verify once again. 414 to start. Excellent. 1864, 1864, 1864, 1864, 1864. Yeah, pretty definitely 1864. We go 1864 minus 1656. Our damage increase is 208. 414 halved is 207. The rounding is as a result of either damage quantization or just normal old rounding. Basically, our damage increased by another 50% by going up by another crit tier, which shows that the 7th tier critical is indeed working on melee. So, your takeaway there is that, yeah, it absolutely does work. There is no issue. 7th tier and above red crits still do exist. No issue on that side. If you're expecting massively increased numbers, that's the bit probably where you went wrong. Because you'll notice that the difference between this and that doesn't look that impressive. But it is still another crit on top of this. It is still another whole extra crit on top. So yeah. Alrighty then. I mean, PSF in Simulacrum. If you're using Worm, and only if you're using Worm, and then I think it's only with the Arctic Xmas around as well. It's weird. As I'll say, this is why we built for more than just crits. Extreme example, one example. Yeah. Once you're above 100% crit chance, increased crits, the power of them drops off dramatically. Absolutely. To give an example, if you have a 5 times critical multiplier, then taking a weapon from 50% crit chance to 100% crit chance, you go from doing an average of 5 times with 5 plus 3 times on average to then 5 times on average. But if you increase from 100% crit chance to now 150%, you've got the same increase in crit chance. You'll go from doing 5 times average to let's say you increase those 4 to 7 times. I mean, it's the same increase. You know, it's pretty obvious, right? You've done the same amount of increase in your crit, but your output just isn't quite where it's at. It's the average output, because you'll have 50% 1, 50% 5. Here it's all 5s. Here it's all 5s. Here it's half of them 5s and half of them 9s, which averages 7. So take that to a much higher level, 300% to 350%. At that point, you're going from 13 times to 15 times. And that doesn't feel as big of an increase, does it? That really doesn't feel like the most impressive increase. Think of what effort you might be going to go from 300 to 350% critical chance. If you could instead put that effort elsewhere, say a pure 50% damage increase rather than crits, 50% more of that is a lot more than this. You see what I'm saying there? So yeah, this is why splitter bonuses are a very good idea. Dr. Will asking, is Galvanized Aptitude a better choice for Galvanized Scope for damage? I hope you have some context to that question, because one mod versus the other with no context is not a question that can be answered. Not in that case, anyway. I don't need to get rid of the notepad, we'll just come back to it later, I'm sure. Alright, I've actually gone through a fair amount of tea already, and I'm going to be back in just one moment, chat, so please do not spam your drones. I know you have them, but don't spam them. I'm back in just a moment. Wrong button. I make nothing but the politest of requests on this stream. Only the politest. What is all this? Every single time there's just drones everywhere. God, that is a lot of drones, actually. That is a lot of drones. I got to say, this is why I made a spreadsheet you can plug weapon numbers into. I mean, this is why I made a spreadsheet where you can plug weapon numbers into, and it's a very extensive sheet with comparison columns so you can have multiple builds side by side, including for ribbon stats. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Still, I know you can't time them all out because you'd have to start with yourself, wouldn't you? Ah. Breathing Go Spin, Neuron Activation. I mean, it is a nice emote, isn't it? It is a nice emote. Okay, so, Glaxion. With this weapon as the moment, question is, where can we get additional value from? And I think the next question on that is, how exactly do the chains work? See, previously I've already demonstrated that chaining does cause the damage to drop by 50% per chain, and if you've got multiple chains, you'll obviously get 50%, 25%, 12.5% once you get to the final enemy. So that is a drop down of the damage. I do not believe there is any drop down on the status. I'd like to verify that. But I want to understand the actual chain effect and how reliably it targets headshots. So let's take all modding out. Actually, no, I'm going to put one bit of modding in. critical delay to bring the fire rate down. Let's get ourselves a brand new bunch of these. Just 2 of them. Let's see. So that to me doesn't look like it's hitting a headshot on the other guy. The reason I say that, direct headshot on this guy, I've got 157 damage, critting to 769. 769 divided by 157, 4.9. If I do it on this guy, if I see the damage on this guy, you can see we're getting 26s and 64s. 64 divided by 26 is a lower critical multiplier. So it's showing not just bodily going over to the body, but it's also definitely not hitting the headshot. Could also check if Sinister Reacher elongates distance from chaining beam. That's going to be an absolute pain in the ass to test, I'll be quite honest with you. Chains of fall off? Why would the chains of fall off? Just want to be clear on what you mean by fall off there, Gorilla. Usually default center of mass. That's what we're verifying here, yeah. So if I aim at head on this one, yeah, still seems to go center of mass, center of mass. Both ways. Actually, that was... Oh, hold up. That's only chaining one way. Oh. Oh, okay. That's curious. So that shows... I mean, the chain distance is too far between those two. Once it's gone to this one, it's too fast to reach that one. Is that what we're seeing here? Hold on, let's get rid of this guy real quick. What's the quickest way to get rid of him? Yeah, no, that's not going to work. It's an unmodded heat dagger. Or heat sword, even. Let me just quickly grab a length. I mean, this should get through his head. Surely this should dome the fecker. Just to carefully take him out of the equation. Where are my slash procs? Oh wait, they're on incarnate form, aren't they? There we go. Okay, so now that we have definitely very quickly got rid of that guy, that's out of chaining distance. Both ways, out of chaining distance. Okay. Interesting. So let's see how close I need to get them. Currently, distance is 8 meters away. Yeah, because he's middle of that tile, middle of this tile. Each tile is about 4 meters across. So what we're going to need to do is get rid of this guy's overguard. Yeah. Then I can shuffle him over bit by bit. How do we increase chain distance? Once I know how long the chain distance is, we can test that, Queen. Let's start with how much is it, and then see if we can make anything else happen. If I just go... that's not too much. Let's do another one. Okay, don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him. Okay, cool, we're good, we're good. He didn't die. Right, so... verifying, yep, at the moment still not chaining. So now I'm going to do... hot damn! Heat dagger has a panic effect. That's what I was looking for. Hot bam! Come on. Okay, yeah, that's not going to work. Let's not have a heat dagger doing that. Stropher with no mods on it. A weapon I barely use. That should then have a no mod setup. Kogaki, I barely use you. There's no mod setup, that'll do. Oh, need to hit the panel to make sure I don't accidentally do anything stupid. Alright, so currently no chain. I'm going to hit that one just so this one isn't cold proc, so they move quicker. He stumbles across. That was quite a big stumble. And we have a chain. Okay. Gonna just stumble you slightly. That was a lot of a stumble. Oh my god. Out of chain distance. Okay, let's try and give a small stumble. I think he's back where he started, to be honest. Well, he's not in chain distance. Okay. I cannot get a smaller stumble than that, apparently. Well, that reached him. Okay, let's grab Loki. I need some very precise positioning on this. So let's Loki it. If I do here. There we go, just a little bit further over. It chains. And then we do that again from right here. I mean, that's basically where he was before again. And we've found basically the limit. So it looks like it's a 7-meter chain. Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then where he stood, 8 meters. Yeah, that puts him back on the 7, and it chains. Okay. Gallagher Golf flashbacks. Warframe Crazy Golf. Oh yeah. That was a fun time. I still find it funny that DE then tried playing Warframe Crazy Golf on stream and let the golf ball die. It's like, amateurs. Okay, so with the Glaxion, as currently tested, let's try increasing the beam length, sinister reach. I don't think this is going to increase the chain, but we're testing it. No increase. Yep, definitely no increase. If it can't even increase by 1 meter, it functionally just does not. Why do you have armor shards on Banshee? And then gaining health, that's for the health tank Banshee, that's why. Health tank Banshee. Okay, so let's take off the sinister reach. Let's get an idea how far this reaches. Currently it is 59 meters away. Surely that's not going to hit. Doesn't hit. Cool. I think someone suggested 30 meters. Let's get to 30. If we stop at 33 and walk ourselves in. Nothing. Nothing. 30 meters. Something. 31 meters. Nothing. Well, that's pretty conclusive. Yep, it's 30 meters. That is pretty damn conclusive right there. 30 meter range. What if I use elevation to screw this up a bit? $30 meters. Oh, it's just about reaching at 31. I'm going to guess rounding error. If I do this. Yeah, nothing. Cool. Sinister reach should have increased beam length to 42. That would be the idea, wouldn't it? Let's verify that by setting it 43 meters to start. There we are, 43. Nothing. 42. Something. There you go. There we go then. It's all pretty simple stuff on that side. So it's not chaining into headshots, which means we can't reliably use headshot-based bonuses on multiple enemies. We can still get it from our primary target, but not on multiple ones. It is a status-focused weapon, so if you're doing anything to kill with status kills, that would also rule out Galvanized Scope. However, the build that I've gone for here does not rely on status kills, so that could use Galvanized Scope. Now the question is, do you want to go for the Galvanized Scope either instead of or even alongside Point Strike, given the crit chance of this weapon? Would Firestorm increase the chain distance? Oh, for goodness sake. No. Right then. Just a reminder, the Tenet Glaxion is not the Torrid. In case you think the Tenet Glaxion is the Torrid, I would suggest that you remind yourself this one very simple sentence. The Tenet Glaxion is not the Torrid. Any questions? Any curiosities? Anyone still lost? I think we should be clear on this one now. Can we make that a command? That we can't. I just love mocking people. So, so I do that then? Torrid does some weird stuff, yeah. So, sure, why not? Alright. Sure. So say if you do electric build, you can use Deadhead to increase the headshot damage. I mean, yeah, sure, electric still does electric things. And you can still just get the headshot damage from headshotting, yeah. Okie dokie then. So the whole aspect of that is galvanized scope, 4 headshots. In terms of where it could go in here, we could lose the radiated reload for it because honestly, it's giving radiation, but the main purpose of radiation is just really to amp up galvanized aptitude, and it's not going to give you that much more. So we could drop that in favor of the galvanized scope. Question is how much value we get out of this and how much we care for aiming at the headshots versus just body shot cleave. I mean, headshots are valuable though. We can't ignore that. Headshots are valuable. Because headshots, you get the triple damage straight up, and then you get the double critical damage. I mean, that does sound pretty worthwhile, doesn't it? Alright, let's slap a Formerino into this. Let's put it over radiated reload. Galvanized scope it. You're kidding me. Oh, I lost capacity because of it's a bloody Tenet weapon. I'm not legendary bloody... What would I need for that? Legendary 4? God damn it. Because yeah, once I get this fully leveled, I'll have another... I'll have 5 capacity there, so 9. That will be enough to put it. God damn it. Stop those? Actually, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? There it is. Thank you. Thanks, Queen. There we are. Normal viewers jealous of your humble count. I'm jealous of your normal form account. Well, that's Mirror Lab for you. That's Mirror Lab. How much do enemies die to the sidechains? Because if they die enough, it might diminish the value of scope. Enemies will die to the sidechains, that's very true. With regards to how often, the value of scope, it's on headshot, you get a bonus, and on headshot kill, you get further bonuses. But you don't require headshots to apply the bonus. That's a crucial detail on this one, Ladybug. So long as our primary targets we're aiming at die from headshot kills, then all targets, whether we headshot them or not, will get the benefit of the critical chance. That makes sense? So that's why it is a reasonable consideration here, even though we got chaining non-headshot hits. So with this in mind, we have lost a radiated reload. I wonder what our damage output is going to be here now. We've got a corrosive focus. Let's grab our Lavos. We're not going to infuse anything into it. We're not going to even Arcane Avenger it. We're just going to have Lavos equipped because of the green shard. Yo, Avquad. Thank you very much for resubscribing with your Prime. They're up onto 6 months. You got a lovely golden badge next to your name now. Cheers for that. Thank you very much, Lee. Alright. Let's grab a bunch of these guys. In fact, let's just clean out the ones we have. And grab ourselves a bunch of new Xmas. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to include 4 butchers, normal butchers as well. Because in a normal mission, you would expect to have some damage stacks gained straight away. Actually, I probably should just do butchers to the Xmas wave. You know what, that's smarter. Let's just do that. Let's clean up some butchers, spawn a new wave of Xmas, see how quickly they die. That'll be sensible. The butchers do go pop, which is always fun. There we are. Now, we're not going to keep much of our crit bonus while spawning in new stuff, but we'll get it back soon enough as well. The main thing there is the Galvanized Merciless. Sorry, Primary Merciless. Galvanized. Eh. Interestingly, it seems like I'm killing most of them with direct damage here. Like, the chain damage isn't actually that much at this point compared to the headshot damage. Y'all seeing that? Every single one of them I killed directly there. Which goes to show the sheer value of headshots, as well as the devaluation of chaining minus 50%. Because if we've got the chain, we lose half the damage from it being chained, we lose 2/3 of the damage from it no longer being a headshot, and we lose half the damage again, roughly, from it no longer being a headshot critical. So that is about 12 times lower damage. Yeah, chain does the priming, but I mean, this weapon kind of self-primes in 0.1 seconds flat. Yeah, that is curious. The chain damage is a lot lower for not hitting those headshots. If it had the headshots, it would just be 50%. But because it doesn't hit the headshots, it is, what, like 8% output? Maybe closer to 10% would account for non-crit. No, but we're getting just crits, aren't we? Yeah, we're getting just crits. So yeah, it's straight up down to 8-ish%. Woo. That's Lavos. And he's got energy. Good crowd control with the Colprox. There is that benefit to it, yeah. There is absolutely that benefit. Now, if I am going to go for this approach, that would mean that the magnetic becomes less valuable and radiation more valuable as a progenitor element. Just as a matter of course on that. Thanks to H-set, we can't get any real funky stuff onto it like corrosive cold without still using as many elemental mods as we have. Yeah. Not even using Archon shards would fix that one, because cold is before both electric and toxin. H-set. Oh, H-set, you arsehole. Can't work around that one. And it's not like I want to put Radiated Reload anywhere into here. We could put it over the Point Strike, but honestly I think having the double dip on the criticals might be more worthwhile. Is it? Or to have a guaranteed critical bonus, rather than always relying on Galvanized Scope being available. Yeah. Would Bladed Rounds be better than Aptitude for the crits? Aptitude isn't for the crits. Just putting it out there, that's not for the crits. This is giving us a direct damage bonus. Limited 4 services if you have radiation. Yeah. With Magnetic Progenitor, we do have the ability to go higher. Yeah. We are running up against a little bit of a wall here in terms of what more we can get out of it. We could go for Deadhead rather than Merciless, which would further enhance our damage and enhance our resilience to low kill scenarios. Because let's face it, if you can use Scope, you can use Deadhead. If you're not able to use Deadhead in the slightest, you're not using Scope. So that's a pretty simple calculation there. So, yeah. Headshot beam is something you weren't expecting? Hey, why not? It's still a headshot. It's still a targeted weapon rather than an AoE, so why not? Now, what this does mean, if we get a more reasonable scenario, let's grab ourselves one Xmas and then a whole bunch of butchers. Okay. Might be a bit excessive on calling that reasonable. Let's grab a bit of that. Let's grab a different kind of Xmas. Let's go for a Bombard Xmas. And then let's go for some Elite Lancers. A bunch of those. And let's get some Troopers. Just ordinary Troopers will do fine. Let's see if we can get 3 more enemies in. Let's get a Heavy Gunner in there. One nice standard Heavy Gunner. And let's go for a Noct. And to top it all off, let's go for a Hellion. Make it Arrowed Hellion. Because I can. There we go. What a lovely mix of enemies. I know we could use the ones that D give us in these battle groups, but look at that battle group. No Xmas in it. It's got 2 Heavy Gunners, 2 Bombards, 6 Lancers, 6 Butchers, 4 Scorpions. It's not even Elite Lancers, which is what you actually fight. So, that's why we're not using that. And similarly there, no Xmas to test against. So this is giving us a right mix of stuff to shoot. Let's see how it goes. So, first things first. Butchers to get some stackage. And then let's just point. There's my Xmas. There he is. Cool, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And how about the Gok stats? Sure, let's bring out those. Get rid of everything else, nice and quick. Gok stats, hello. Spawn you all. And again, I'm still not using any Lavos abilities. I've not got Arcane Avenger active here. This is just the weapon. And an Emerald Shard. Probably gonna have to reload. Yep, there it is. I mean, I'd say that's not too bad. For a Tenet weapon, this is something you can get before unlocking Steel Path. This is a weapon you can get before completing Whispers in the Wall, before completing the New War. In fact, you can get this weapon earlier than Sedna entirely. All you need to get this weapon is, I believe, completion of the Second Dream, and high enough mastery rank to actually cause things to spawn, including access to Saturn, which you'll have access to at that point, so yeah. Is Second Dream Sedna? I can't remember now. I can't remember. But basically, you could get this weapon at about the time, or slightly earlier, than you can get Saren. And doing Deadlock Protocol? Right, yeah, there's Deadlock Protocol. My bad. Which, again, you could do really early on. Also, Railjack, still early on. In comparison to everything else, it's still early on. So, yeah. It's no Steel Path necessary, that's for certain. You don't need Whispers in the Wall, you don't need the New War, and you can have this weapon. And to have this kind of an output on it is actually feeling pretty good. Now, granted, this output is enhanced by an Archon Shard, a combined one. That does require higher access, but you can get armor strips. And you won't be facing this kind of armor until you are on the Steel Path. You see, as soon as we get those initial kill stacks in, the weapon just kind of comes online. Also, we've got the Cold Procs enhancing the crit damage as well, so that's a nice little extra value added. There we are. What about Primary Frostbite? Good question. What about Primary Frostbite? What does it offer to us then that we don't already have here? So, Primary Frostbite. Primary... I don't know why I did that. It's not even that many things here. Frostbite. On cold status effect, plus crit damage plus multi-shot for 12 seconds stacks up to 40 times. This means we'll be losing out on the 360% damage bonus. This means we'll be losing out on the 30% headshot damage bonus. In exchange, we get some crit damage. Bear in mind, this will not work with the companion crit damage. They'll be side by side. And we get some multi-shot, when also we remember, Galvanized Chamber is 230% multi-shot. And you're also locked into cold, yeah, but this is using cold. So, you'll benefit from the crits. Now, this isn't an amazing crit weapon. You benefit more on the crits, but the crit damage isn't going to be a huge increase. This is running 4.8 with Companion, that's actually 6.04 times. Frostbite giving us 120%. That would increase this another 2.4 times, so we go from 6 to 8.4. From 6 to 8.4. Divided by 6. So a roughly 40% damage increase on that side. And then the multi-shot, we go from... Oh, we're going to get... What bonus there? 90%. So we go from 330 to 420. Which is another 27% increase. The two combined, they offer a 78% damage increase. Deadhead offers, if the enemy's got 3 stacks on them, this is going to be giving us 240. So at 340, this is going to slightly better than double our damage. It's just better. And that's before considering the headshot multiplier again. So yeah, Deadhead is better than Frostbite. So long as you can get headshot kills, Frostbite is worse. Remediable saying Frostbite is consideration if you have a Riven shoring up damage plus an element, but a 0.5 disposition that's unlikely. That's very unlikely, yeah. At 0.5 disposition, you're unlikely to get enough of an element to be worth dropping an element mod, probably. Yeah. What shotgun will be great at one-shotting liches? Can you still one-shot them? If so, coup for heck. If you can one-shot them. Okay, now, do I have a Phantasma? I have a Phantasma Prime, if that's what we're comparing against. Zom, I think it was you bringing that one up. I think. I might be wrong. Galvanized Aptitude only stacks 2 times. Alright. I don't blame you, Sparrow. I don't blame you, because the mod is confusingly worded. When it says stacks up to 2 times, it's the on-kill stacks up to 2 times. On-kill plus 40% direct damage per status type affecting the target. So if you stack twice, on-kill, the 40% is applied twice. You've got 2 lots of kill stacks. So it'll be plus 80% direct damage per status type affecting the target. That's the stacks up to 2 times bit. So if you have 3 status on the enemy, if you've killed 1 enemy recently, you get 40, 80, 120% bonus. And if you've killed 2 enemies recently, you get 80, 160, 240% bonus. It's not the most amazingly worded, but yeah. It's there. As I say, yeah, Phantasma is absurd in power level, still wonder how it stacks up, especially since Prime isn't much of an upgrade, unless you're using flat crit, meaning you can grab it super early. Okay. This is going to be a 30 weapon, isn't it? Oh, great. Well, no, but let's throw a resource at it. I have them. At least it's got some polarities built in, so that's a positive for us here. I'm going to need to spend this as well. Let's go for... It's a shotgun. We're not going to be using Deadhead. Merciless it is. Right, Galvanized Help. That's an obvious pickup here. Galvanized Savvy. That's an obvious pickup here, one would assume. Let's see elsewise. The crit on it is terrible. Oh, lordy doody. Yep, that is not a weapon you want to crit with unless you have amazing crit bonuses elsewhere. Even if you do. As I'm saying, typically Viral Electric. Yeah, let's do that then. Great, another depolarity. Why not? Love me some pointless depolarities. Get some initial damage stacks. Okay, but this is what happens when you throw a lot of primed mods or something. We're going to have some spots left over. But it's fine. We're boosting our fire rate from our companion, I think. Let's re-equip our companion. So we didn't have the companion on the demo I was doing a moment ago, so let's compare this with companion assist. Coxguard officers. Someone's gifted 72 subs. This month so far, yeah. This might be painful without initial stacks. You know what? Let's get some butchers. Get some stacks first. Because we need initial stacks, or it's going to look anemic. That's the same with every weapon which is reliant on stacked bonuses. There we are. Okay. Now, give me. Now let's see what happens. Doing this as quickly as I can. I mean, I am absolutely chonking through ammo. And people really consider this good, Zon? People consider this good? Is this what you're trying to sell to me? Because you specifically recommend... Oh, I'm out of ammo. Yeah. Even with the extended status duration from Lavos, there was one survived. I have some ammo now. Yay! And I'm out of ammo. Missing 2 mods? Yeah, I am missing 2 mods. That's a fair point. Alright. Go on, Zob. What mods am I missing? What should I put on here? Yo, TMBD, thank you very much for resubscribing at 13 months now. Appreciate it. Cheers. Cheers indeed. So, Zom, what's missing? What do you need? What do we need to make this weapon sing compared to what it's been doing so far? Because we're already using the primed and galvanized mods. How much more are we expecting from the remaining 2 mod slots? What are we expecting? Which mods? I might have missed something particularly obvious for an all-rounder setup. And we have to say all-rounder because that's the all-rounder setup we were using on the other one. I did not hit that note. I hit a note. That's for certain. I mean, first option I could go for is ignore the whole idea of using electric viral. Maybe that was a terrible shout. If I do it this way, I can go corrosive cold. See what happens then. 60 virals, Bane, shell shock, fire rate repeater, clip, shock and barrage. Let's use heat instead of electric. The thing to kill needs to be like 4 seconds. Well, let's do the butcher restart again. And then try it with corrosive cold, because maybe that's just the better suggestion, quite honestly. Because those procs just did not seem to be lining up for a lot. Maybe I'll be wrong on that, but that seems to be the important salient point, if you will. Exo, Gokstad officers, max it out, load them up. Right, now let's see what happens. Bear in mind I've not got full strip Archon Shard. Well, corrosive helped. Corrosive absolutely helped there. That certainly did a lot of work. So we can give it that, absolutely. The corrosive did a lot of work there. Just to remind myself where we started. There we go. Oh, I missed a couple, whatever, I got my stacks. Actually, no, I didn't. I needed headshots. Oh, well, I missed out on the headshots. This is going to be worse. Quick reload. It's one in the damage numbers. I'm not seeing how the Phantasm is going to make up the difference here. Not too sure on that one. Let's make some further tweaks. Let's go Heat Arenas instead. So we're no longer on a Prime Arenas. And let's depol the G7. There we go. And let's get a fire rate on here. From Momentum, seems we've got Prime Point Blank. That's a good enough pickup. We can get that one to cracking in. So that we burn up our ammo even faster. Actually, wait. Oh, Shock and Barrage is just it without the negative. That's stupid. But it is what it is. Let's again get our Butcher charge just to get the initial stacks up, because that is important and relevant. Again, Butchers fall over, nothing new there. Everyone knows the Butchers fall over. And then we run this. Okay, we've got somewhere. It is now feeling somewhat competitive, but my god are we going through that ammo. Holy shit, does that use up ammo. How much ammo do we get on pickup? Ammo pickup 15. With a fire rate of 30, we use up the ammo we pick up there in half a second. Half a second. For comparison, the Glaxion with this setup, fire rate 25.8, and we use half the ammo on that, by the way, because it only uses half an ammo per shot rather than 1 ammo per shot. Don't know if that's the same on Phantasma, mind you. But the ammo pickup here is 80. So at, what's that? 13 ammo per second, we can fire for, grab the calculator, it's right next to you. 80 divided by 13, 6-ish seconds per ammo pickup. That's a hell of a lot better. That is absolutely huge in difference there. As I was saying, without Bane too, yeah, this Glaxion's also without Bane, just FYI. The Glaxion without Bane, with a single Prime mod which can be downgraded to a normal Shred, to be quite honest with you. The Primed is better, but normal Shred is perfectly available, will still give you punch-through effects. We've gone triple Galvanized, but still not Prime mods. No Primed Elemental mod necessary. No Primed Pure Damage mod. We have Innate Cold to work from. Yeah. No begging on my channel, please, and thank you. That is absolutely not welcome. I'll give you a warning on that one. You do any more begging, it will be a ban. Cheers. Any tips for grinding Void Rig? Get to it, basically. What bit are you stuck on? Do remember you can trade the broken parts of other players, and you can trade the fully built parts of other players. So if there's a bit you're missing out on, then you can just buy it from someone else, rather than continuing to smack your head against the wall. Also remember that you can purchase various bits and pieces from Lloyd in the Netracells, so make sure you check his shop to see if he's got what you need as well. But in just general tips for grinding Void Rig, go out there and bloody well do it. Is a Void Rig like 80 Platinum? Not from the in-game market, no. So yeah. Now looking at Technical Action then, where else can we move this? Now this is currently set up as Corrosive Cold. As much as it has a really high status, we're not making a huge amount of use of that status. But, as in, we're not going for status kills with heat. I'm honestly not sure that it needs it. Because here's the thing, if we want this to be putting out heat procs, we would need to get rid of the cold. So we would need to go for a viral setup. If we're going viral heat, we're going to have a triple elemental modding, and we lose our corrosive as well. And corrosive is demonstrated to be very good for quick kills on armor. To go for viral heat from here, also viral heat, if we go for Seer skills, we lose our scope. And that's a big deal. Like, scope does a lot of work. We'd lose Deadhead too. We have to switch to Merciless. What about Bane of Corrupted? What about it? I'm sorry, what's your question? Anyway. So we could go for a viral heat setup, or viral electric. Yeah. Can it replace any mod for Steel Path? Okay, I'm just going to answer that question flatly because you've given me no context and it's not really a relevant question. So, no, Bane of Corrupted can't replace any mod for Steel Path. Bane of Corrupted will go into your build specifically where a Bane mod will be best to go. And that is going to differ from weapon to weapon. It's not really what we're looking at right here, right now. This isn't a Bane-based build, so that's not really a relevant question. That's all I can really say on that one to you. Yeah. Yeah, if we drop the scope, and then we could use that to springboard into a viral heat setup. Let's see. Let's copy this over. This should be empty. Near enough empty was used for testing. So let's copy those details over, but then use it for viral heat. So GAP, chamber, point strike, vital sense, chamber, aptitude, point strike, vital sense. We don't need the viral modding. We need the heat modding. And then we want the prime shred again, and this time switch it over to viral heat. We're only going to get the benefit of Merciless, so might as well have said that. When should or shouldn't use a Bane mod? You should use a Bane mod when it gives you more damage, and shouldn't use it when it gives you less. If that sounds like a painfully unhelpful answer, it's because your question is incomplete. It's a mod that increases your damage. So use it when it increases your damage. Right. I think I've finished setting this up. We'll find out. To test it fairly, let's get the initial stacks built. Let's get those. Now this is with Lavos. Lavos does extend stage duration, but that shouldn't matter too much. Well, that was a beautiful sound. Not sure what I did for the game to give me that one, but I'll take it. In fact, gives me an idea of something I need to test after this. Aim for the head. Headshots are still going to be valuable, it's just not as valuable. Ooh, we're already on the reload, okay. That's not landing what I'm hoping for, I'll be honest with you. Doing nothing to strip their armor means we've got a lot of armor to punch. Well, not nothing, we've got heat procs halving their armor, but we've still got a lot of armor to punch through. And otherwise the value of heat is the fact that it blows them up a second later, but as we saw on the Butchers, do we need a second? Alright. Let's grab some more ordinary units. Good old Elite Lancers. They're tough, but they're not that tough. If they die in less than a second, the heat isn't helping. It's an important fact to remember there. If they die in less than a second, the heat really isn't helping. And they were dying in less than a second of being directly damaged. Because I can do that same approach here with this one. And I mean, that just kind of kills. Oh, missed that one. My bad. Yeah. Is Heat Inherit good for ad clear? Just checking with you, Scorch. What do you think Heat Inherit means? Like, to make sure you and I are using the same definition so I can answer your question, what do you think it means? As I do want to be clear on that. Yeah, in terms of the heat viral output there, honestly, it just didn't feel that amazing. We have higher status, and we have higher labeled damage, but that's because we're actually getting more from the crits on the other build. But all that for a setup where the proc's supposed to damage them over time. Let's try Xmas. Let's grab a whole bunch of have standard, like normal-ish Xmas. Drekar Elite Lancer Xmas. Alloy armor, that works. Alloy because alloy is not weak to corrosive. So let's try this. Unstacked. See what happens. Aiming for the headshots. Try and get the value out of it. Go from 0 to hero. How long does it take? And then we'll do a second run with the stacks having been accrued. First kill. Stacks are going to start coming in now. We're at full multi-shot stacks. We're slowly building up the kill stacks here. Slowly but surely empowering our damage. You can hear the overguard being broken. Trying to use a little bit of tactical aiming here to improve our output. So starting at 0, very painful, but we do get there eventually. Let's now see it with stacks added in. And yeah, because we are taking more than a second to kill each one of them, the heat procs are adding value to it all. The heat procs are definitely contributing. And we're going to do this run again in just a moment with the corrosive setup. That's the corrosive headshot approach. Again, constant sounds of overguard being broken. The chain is getting rid of their crowd control immunity, I guess. There you are. And now let's roll this. I'll look at suggestions for other parts of the build later, because right now I'm still in the middle of testing one thing. Please hold. Again, this is starting without stacks. There we go, stacks obtained. Let's cancel that and just see it stacked. There we are. Oh man. Oh, that is juicy in comparison. I mean, which would you rather? Wait for the heat procs to kick in and tickle them down 2 or 3 seconds later? Or, this? I mean, which would you rather? Just to be very clear on that, which would you rather? Let's see, Zom, probably not, but do you ever run direct virals on a heat build since you should have Should be throwing out so much status. Since you're running Savvy, the status chance won't entirely make up for it, right? You are right. Yeah, I can use underranked 60/60s there to min-max the heat procs per second versus viral overload on that. You are very right. The amount it'll increase it won't be huge overall. But yeah, you're right. That would optimize it a bit further. We'd still be waiting on the heat proc skill, though. Can I give a peek of the Inadem build? I literally don't even have it equipped right now, Travis. Exclamation mark Inadem. Just go grab the legitimate guide to it. Come on. So, out of the two there, on all the fiddling, I'll be quite honest, it comes down to the fact that if you're going for headshots, this is going to absolutely slap. This is better if you're not headshotting, I guess. So I guess the other thing to test is without the corrosive shard. Zom, on that I'm going to say no. If someone is choosing to run a corrosive status weapon, like the Tenet Glaxion, if they're just pouring out corrosive procs on the scale of this weapon and they go, but I don't want the corrosive shard, I feel like that person is choosing to suck. 80% armor strip versus either 98 or 100% armor strip just does not cut it. Either the enemy is already dead because the damage output is good enough, or the enemy needs their armor removed, in which case, why wouldn't you? That, at the same point, if you go, well, what part of the game they're going to be in, they might not have access to said shard, okay, then take off the galvanized mods. Now how much are they doing? And quite frankly, if someone is at the point of the game where they can't access the shards or the galvanized mods, the amount of modding isn't really going to matter. They're against level 30 to 50 enemies. And you show me the way of corrosive? I'm surprised it's taking you this long to notice, but yeah. This is why I have the corrosive shard on Lavos, because corrosive with it kinda slaps. Like, not just a little bit, it slaps. Now, this is built as a pretty much a weapon focus. The only thing external to it that we're considering is the universal benefits of a companion giving you fire rate and crit damage. You don't need those, but they are big bonuses. And then we've got a single corrosive shard on Lavos. I'm using a Talforged one. If you're not using Talforged, it's probably a good idea to get 2 emerald shards on, just to get that full strip. It really matters. If you are using some other external bonus, then you change the dynamic here. For example, if you are using Nourish, excellent, you're just going to have viral procs coming out your ass at the same time as the rest of this. If you're using Lavos, you might want to consider not having corrosive on here, instead going for heat viral and then corrosive from Lavos' valence formation. Then you'll get guaranteed corrosive procs on top of the viral procs, on top of the heat procs. That's going to be a lot of damage there. Salvage green is enough to fully strip? No, it's 98%. 98. Is it better to full strip armor or do something like 99% to get the bonus damage to ferrite armor? Because of the fiddliness of min-maxing, keeping a little bit of armor alive, don't ever worry about that. 98% is sufficient for the vast majority of content in terms of armor stripping. 100% is also very good to have. That little interlude where you've stripped most of the armor, but you left enough that the corrosive bonus is worth it versus fully stripping them, just, you don't need to worry about it. It's a min-maxer's wet dream, and it is quite literally a dream. You are not going to be engaging with content outside of Eidolons enough for that to matter. And even within Eidolons, it's not really going to matter. You can just do other things to blap them these days. Ductile asking, if you have a Nourish Subsume and a Corrosive Weapon, would the Green Shard still be a good choice, or would Nourish make up for the difference without the Shard? How could Nourish make up the difference when your choice isn't Nourish or Green Shard, it's Nourish or Nourish and Green Shard? When you can use both, one on its own doesn't make up the difference of having both. Because you could just use both. It's kind of optional between +3 and +4. It is kind of optional, yeah. A Talforged Green Shard or 2 normal Green Shards, both will give you about the same effect. The 2 normal Green Shards will give you a higher armor strip, so it will be stronger. That's just a fact. but the amount stronger isn't that much, comparatively speaking. So if you are tight on shards, if you want to use those shard slots for something else, you are absolutely fine to do so. It's why I'm leaving my Lavos as is. I don't need this ability strength, but I have it there. I don't need this armor shard, but I have it there. To be quite honest with you, if I were to adjust him, I would probably take off the armor shard. As much as it's nice having a little bit extra armor, I'd probably go to normal emeralds here. Keeping the strength for the raw setup I have. If you don't care about that strength, you could drop that instead and then have 2 emeralds. That works too. Yeah. This bug is so annoying. Anyway. Diminishing returns real when you're at 2k armor? Yeah. Like, you can benefit from more armor, don't get me wrong. You can go well above 2k, but not through armor shards, no. About 300 armor makes second HP bar. Sure, yes. That is a relevant point to bring up right now. Well done. How does Lavos buff weapon DPS? This one right here, Valence Formation. Passive augment. Upon ability cast, applies the ability element as 200% elemental damage to your weapons with guaranteed status for 20 seconds. It's kind of bonkers. It is actually kind of bonkers. Good news, I've also done a full-ass video on Lavos, a recent one that covers that augment and various other details about him, so you can check that out. Sil has linked you all of my Lavos videos. Yeah. Sil is just under the Lavos one because it's all of them there. It's just simpler that way. Right, I think we've had a look enough at the Tenet Glaxion. To be quite honest, having seen the differences between the setups there, that's just... this works. Now, there is a consideration to go, instead of corrosive, to go for Hunt Munitions Viral. Or just Hunt Munitions and outsourced Viral. In response to that... in response to the idea of Hunt Munitions outsourced Viral, I'm just going to do one last thing here. Raise your hand if as soon as we get this first stack... where am I? Okay, now we're stacked. Raise your hand if you think Hunter Munitions can kill faster than this. The reason I'm asking you to raise your hand is so I don't see who's an idiot. If you type it in chat, I'll be able to know who. But if you just raise your hand at home, only you know you're an idiot for thinking that Hunter Munitions can be faster than that. So yeah. Unless you're Endurance armor. And if you're against Endurance, you should be armor stripping. In fact, if you're against Endurance, you probably don't bring the Glaxion. Let's be real about it. If you're doing an Endurance mission, this is probably not the weapon for you. It's a good weapon, but it's not an Incarnon. You can do better. Can I flash the build real quick? Not without getting myself banned from Twitch. Oh, wait, you mean show you the build? Right, sorry. Yeah, my bad. There you go. Amprex would be better for Hunter Munitions since critical is better. I wouldn't agree on that, Gorilla, because you only need 100% crit chance. After that, the crit chance doesn't matter for Hunter Munitions. Literally doesn't matter. I'll say, Viral Heat or Corrosive I can see performing decently. Endurance beams are stupid. They can perform, but you can still use other weapons which are stronger, is the point on. Make sure you capture the nuance, not just part of the idea. There's a whole picture to play. Have I tried Primary Frostbite versus Deadhead? I've proven the numbers that Deadhead is better. If you would like the proof on that, please rewatch the stream. And welcome in, by the way. You missed that bit. Alright then. Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to look at with the Tenet Glaxion. We've kind of covered the details there. If you're not against armoured enemies, then it doesn't really matter what you hit them with, they're going to fall over dead. If you are struggling with headshots, like if it's not headshotable enemies, I would say switching to this might be an idea, or just taking off the scope and Deadhead. You'd instead go for Merciless, Yeah, you'd go for Merciless on that one and Bladed Rounds. Assuming you're using Arcane Avenger. If you're not using Bladed Rounds, Bane mod. Needs a little bit more. I'll get the capacity for that. So yeah, Bane mod. That would work. Is there any way to get Prime Trade aside from login reward? Nope. Just have to keep playing the game. You can't trade it, you can't buy it, you can't do anything else about it, but you can use normal shred, and that'll still do a lot. You only see not doing headshots on Infested? Well, there's also the fact that headshotting a number of the Murmur is impossible. The Anatomizer, despite the fact that it has this lovely glowing central core, a core that you can hit with your Parazon, pull out and crush, it still isn't a headshot, and there is no headshot on it. There also is no headshot on the Crawling Hands, despite what the Zenith might try to tell you. Headshots on the Rogue Culverins doesn't really count, because as soon as you tickle the arms, they're gone. That doesn't work. Yeah, Murmur headshots are actually a bit of a pain in the ass. Will I be releasing a video on the Glaxion of work you've streamed later on? Yes. I intend to put out a video on this one, absolutely. Would it matter what weapon you're taking if you're armor stripping in an endurance run? Yes, because if you bring a heat dagger to an endurance run, you're probably going to struggle even if the enemies are armor stripped, because the heat dagger sucks. You are going to have to buff it to the 9s to make that work. So, yeah. Have I tried the Vigilante set with it? Synquistic, what do you think is important about the Vigilante set that needs to be raised here on this stream or in a video about the Glaxion? What is significant about the Vigilante set that you are trying to raise there? Or are you just asking me if I'm going to waste my time on every set in the game? Because if you have something significant about it, then I'd love to hear it. Unfortunately, there is a trend, certainly for people whose very first message is such a question, for people to just begin an idea and then expect me to run it. Yeah. Alright. Let's pop out of that. I mean, I like the huge double-handed murmurs, the joys count headshots. Yeah, the big old stompies, they are brilliant for headshots. They're brilliant. Have to do work yourselves? Oh, you don't have to do work yourselves, but it really helps if the idea is fleshed out enough that I can actually inspect the idea. Because otherwise, next thing you know, I'm going to have people going, yeah, but what about Infested Helmet Charger? It's like, what about it? Well, have you tried Glaxion with that? For what? I need more to work with than that, otherwise the answer is no, the Charger sucks. Move on. Headshot the Archodogs have got a Notorious Noggin. Yeah, the Archodogs, especially when they're Xmas, they're brilliant for gaining charge. Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's go level this one up real quickly. Then I'm going to go take a poke at the Sobek. Actually, no, scratch that. I should be able to level it and get Sobek at the same time, right? Yeah, let's do that. Now, for the Kuva Sobek, I think Toxin is going to be my nice all-round progenitor. So, what's a good Toxin progenitor frame? Progenitor, Warframe. What Toxin 1 do I want to run? I've got Atlas, Dagath, Ivara, Korra, Necros, Nidus, Oberon, Sarin. None of those excite me right now. Let's use Oberon because he doesn't see enough attention, and also Oberon is the wrong element. Hat is the best progenitor. Oh, what is the best progenitor with Glaxion? Right, sorry, but the letter and question mark missing there confused me. I've gone for Magnetic on the Glaxion because it doesn't interfere with any modding setup and is not able to be added by a single mod, whereas Radiation can. So that's why I've gone for Magnetic. It also gives you added value against the Corpus and may have yet more added value in the near future from DE. But that's a gamble, that bit. No, you can't headshot Anatomizers. They don't have one. Oberon does radiation damage and is a Toxin progenitor. The reason why is because... Yeah, that's why. That's the entire reason why. Before we go in, I'm just going to make sure I've got Consequence on him because I do not want to be bullet jumping slowly. Gib Cons. Wow, I don't even have an Arcane on that slot. That's stupid. Now I do. Right then. Don't care about the rest of my build. Literally the only thing that matters here is Arcane Consequence. And it is Cassini. Let's go. Yeah, Severed Wardens are good for headshots, that's true.
Capture mission. You must find, capture,
Hey,
extract
new
that
blitz.
target.
Thanks for dying. Grab this dude. Big old disintegrator, right?
Excellent work.
How's that one
Volunteer
level
aid the
9?
captive back at base. Your part is done here.
I didn't think they spawned the Durax at low level, but okay, fair enough, the more you know. Alright, in a moment, it should start going all flicker flicker, and then that's when we activate. There it is, absolute murder mode. Alright. Oh shit, I've run out of enemies. Where are they all? There we go, okay. Whew, had me a concern for a second there. Alright. Boy, subject. Oh, you're already falling over. Okay, what you got? 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 What... God damn it. I was hoping for first try, but it's fine. Why are the ledges everywhere? What? Why is this a ledge? Ow. Hey, I'm demonstrating. Look at this. Why is this a ledge right here? Come on. That's just... Revenant mains in Apex will understand my pain. I just killed that guy by bullet jumping at him. How does anyone struggle on the lower levels? I bullet jumped him to death. There we are. Someone said it's left over from the old Parker system. Ugh. Just... I want a nice casual game, you know, a nice cheery upbeat game. This one is clearly too edgy. Yeah, I went there. Alright, off we go again.
Here on a capture mission. You must
Mixture Apex
find,
Tree, what are your thoughts on New
capture,
Legend?
extract
Honestly, I
that
really
target.
like Alta. She creates such dynamic gameplay. I've been able to pull off some really crazy scenarios that just could not be done with another Legend. But she doesn't feel oppressively good at what she does. She just opens up new opportunities.
Mission complete. The captive
Also, it's very
has
nice
started
where we're
the
running through Storm at
extraction
one point,
Well done.
and a teammate of mine had fallen really far behind. They were probably going to die in the storm. I threw down my ult, allowed them to teleport to the ult, and therefore they no longer had to worry about dying to storm. They caught up, and we could continue playing together, which was brilliant.
Inform the queens we have found their subject.
So yeah, I like her. She's good. Not oppressive, just good. What you got for me then, Lich? Please be good. Hey, Cooper Sobek! Only 2 times needed. Nice. Nice.
We have the chosen subject. They will become leech or die.
I mean, the voice actor did well on that line, not gonna lie. That one has the right amount of, right tone and vibe to it. I'm gonna say, no, you don't get it second run. Sorry, Mirrorblade, this is not something you can buy your way out of. It happened. It's here, it's done. Sorry. That one's just a reality. Now watch it be a 25%.
All debts, Tenno, must be paid, Tenno. To me is owed arms and legs. Arms for the ones you hacked off. Legs for the ones you took from me.
I remember
All
dismembering this
debts
guy.
must be paid.
Yeah, no idea what he's on about. Just a lunatic. Let's have a look, shall we? It is...
Don't hurt me!
Okay. 58% and a quirk prone to vertigo. Alrighty. Woohoo! Colomere. I know I'm slightly mispronouncing that, but Colomere. Yeah, we're gonna have that one. Come here. 58%. Alright then, let's get cracking on this one. Oberon, you've done your job now. Thank you, Oberon. You gave us the goods. Nice. Check his PC now. I can assure you, that is entirely DE's offer right there. Have I tried Oberon with Hunter, Adrenaline, Quick Thinking, Nourish, and High Strength? I have tried Oberon with little bits here or there and don't like him. If that's not the answer you're looking for, well, sorry. That's how much I care about Oberon. Anyway, with that 58% on the docket, let's go absolutely sock it. And let's just equip some better stuff here right now. And that can stay. Alright. Why am I Naramon? Be safe. Let's just annihilate that. Yeah, with 28% toxic Glaxion, you can get it higher. Just gotta do a bit of valencing. Good luck. Do I have a build for the Zenith? Not one to show right now, nope.
I claim this
Oh, let's make sure Parazon is set. Yep, Parazon has mods on it.
For the queens.
Let's exterminate. That's not the exterminate I wanted. It's not on the exterminate. There we go.
What did I do? What did I do?
Took only one run to go back to Glazier run. Oberon's done his bit. Oberon's done his bit. He can go away now. Solo? Yeah, we don't need no beeps here.
There is a large platoon of Grenier Marines stationed here. Leave no one standing.
Prepare to get obliterated. It's going to hurt. Whoa, what the? Alright. This guy really wanted to be murdered. Ba ba da ba ba. Ba. Oh. Oh, there you are. Wounded Warrior's getting grabbed from. Oh, I can't quite reach that one there, that's fine. I was doing the cha-cha slide. Quick question about projectile bonus. Can I use any weapon or bonus to increase the one I have? No, it has to be the same weapon, but it doesn't have to be the same element. So you can have a 25% Toxin Kuvahek and a 25% Cold Kuvahek. You then keep your choice of the Toxin or Cold, and it will go up by 2.5% when you combine the two together. The reason it's 2.5% is because it's 10% of the higher percentage value. So if you have a 25% and a 40%, then you'll end up on 44. And if you have a 40% and another 40%, you'll still only end up on 44. Which is why you should hold off on merging them until you're done, in case you end up lucky like me, and you get yourself a 58%. Because if you've done 3 merges, and then you get a 58%, you've just wasted your previous merges. I mean, actually, when it comes to 58%, it doesn't really matter, but something like, say, 54%. If you get a 54% and merge, you'll end up on 59. Whereas, if you have 54% and 2 guns not yet merged, then you can get the full 60. Yeah. Goes to sleep. Fair enough then, Aegon. You have yourself a good rest. Oh, that was an Eximus! I thought that was one that I could do the old stabby stabbies on. And it just disintegrated in front of me. So hang on. That's not how this is supposed to work. You're not meant to die that easily. Well, they are, but not that easily.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
I just fell over. Very dramatic rollover. Look at that. Any more for disintegration? Yep, there they go. Did I change something in my settings? They don't seem to be disintegrating normally. Oh wait, that might be the outline on them. That's probably what it is. Yeah, I think it might be the outline. Any more for any more? No more thralls? I don't think so. I think we are all thralled out here.
You earn.
And Queen wants a bit of a vocal rock back. Alright.
Yes.
Boop. There we are. How long have I been playing with Outline? I turned it on and off for different purposes. Right then. Let's continue murdering our way through these. Defense? Nope. Capture? Capture sounds fun. Let's do it. Hello, Longshot. I'm doing alright. Hope you're doing well yourself. A wonderful day today. It's been absolutely gorgeous weather out. And I had myself a little bit of piracy earlier. Good old pirate activity on AIM Online. Copy this. Absolutely not related to what we're doing here on stream, but copy it anyway. Kind of slightly ended someone's career. You know, just blew up their shit, blew up their pod, sent them back to station, get wrecked scrub kind of deal. They messaged me a little bit later to say, you should go get a job. To which I could simply reply, my dude, it's a Sunday. Doesn't matter if I had a job or not, and I do have a job. I'm still going to kill him anyway. Of all this smack talk, get a job. It's the middle of the bloody weekend. Absolute lemon. Should be more like the other person I destroyed. They're like, hey, are you the guy who just blew my ship up? How did you find me? I explained, like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. Walking through a few bits and pieces, now they know how to avoid me in future. It's brilliant. At least, they think they know how to avoid me in future. Whether or not they actually do it correctly, well, that's up to them. They might do it wrong. Or they might mostly do it correctly, but then get distracted. Things like that. Friday stream was a unique experience. Yeah, honestly, that Friday stream was one of my favourite variety streams I've done in a long time. I just... Oh. I just say, I think it was surely that if you had a job, you wouldn't have had the time to get that good at the game. You don't need to be good at the game to do what I did. I'll be quite honest. The one that got all upset, this is the process I went through. I arrived in the star system he was in. I saw on my scanner that he was in the star system, in a mining ship. I told the scanner to point at mining locations that I could access, and on the third mining location it said, hey look, that guy is there. So I went to the third mining location, I landed next to him, I locked him up, and I killed him. You could do that day 0. With a little bit of instruction, a little bit of guidance on how to use the scanner, you could do that same thing in a day 0 ship. Guaranteed. Because he didn't even react to me being there in time, because he was clearly not paying enough attention. Day 0. With my skills, I just happened to be very quick at reaching him. Which game? EVE Online. Sorry, I didn't actually say that, did I? EVE Online. It's what we streamed on Friday, and that stream, if someone had described that stream to me, said, yep, this is how your stream's going to go, I would have called bullshit. And I said, nah, those interactions do not happen That's not how the stream would have gone. No way, nah, not a chance. It's too scripted, no one would believe it. Except for it actually happening, which was wild. Like, to the point that I don't want to spoil it for those who missed it. It was wild. And fun. Even if you don't know the game, don't understand what it's all about. Yeah. Post it on YouTube. Oh yeah, the stream replays end up on YouTube sooner or later. I don't normally upload them during the weekend because I'm doing other stuff. Quite frankly, it's my weekend. But you can always catch the VOD here on Twitch before that happens, and then yeah, it will be forever immortalized on YouTube soon. Now, I know that the mission says done, but I'm actually killing my way through to make sure I've got every thrall I can to spawn here to get the most progress on the Requiems. And now I say that, we've actually finished going through the missions, so sure, why not? Salvatore saying, not a fan of free PK games to be honest. Play for the design, control mechanics and friends. Yeah, that's fine. There are parts of space where you are, within reason, safe from player killing. Within reason. And I say within reason, if you fly something absurdly expensive, then you give people a reason to attack you. Because they're going to want to take that absurdly expensive stuff, even with the penalties for attacking you. And those are strict penalties. Likewise, if you start assembling structures in space, then those structures are vulnerable. But if you don't go for those structures, or let someone else handle that stuff, if you don't put yourself into non-policed space, and if you don't fly around in very obvious, hey, look at me, come blow me up stuff, then the PvP aspect of it will basically not exist to you. Or at least not in the ship-to-ship PvP. There's still market PvP. There are still going to be competition there, and that can get a little bit silly too. Yeah. If you only play half a game then? I mean, isn't that the same as someone who says they don't do Eidolon hunts? That they don't enjoy endurance runs? That's someone who perhaps just doesn't really care for Void Cascade. Isn't that the same for someone who doesn't really enjoy quite a number of the Warframes in Warframe? Who doesn't engage much in operator gameplay if they can avoid it? Isn't that true for someone who doesn't do dojo decorating? Someone who doesn't hyper-optimize their farms on Vodyanoi on Sedna? How about someone who has limited interest in going to the Debris experience that much? Someone with limited fashion frame. Does that sound like someone who's only experiencing half of Warframe? Or they're experiencing Warframe, they're just choosing which bits they wish to experience? Because everything I just described there is me. That's my interaction with Warframe. Yeah. So, it is perfectly fine to not engage with absolutely everything in a game, and that includes EVE Online. There are people I've known in EVE Online, all they did, they logged in, they grabbed their ships, they ran missions in safe space, they bought ammo without looking at the price, they bought drones without looking at the price. The ships, they didn't figure out how to build them, they looked up a guide, they hit buy this, and they flew that. They did their missions by shooting. They scooted their loot. They took their loot to the nearest station they could, and they sold it. They didn't pay attention to how much they were selling it for. They just hit sell all, immediate. Gone. A warning would sometimes pop up. They didn't care about the warning. Yeah, that price is fine. Sell it. That's all they did. That's what they enjoyed in the game. That is all they did. And it worked for them. They have absolutely billions in that game. They can do whatever they damn well please. They could lose the ship they're flying in multiple times over. They don't give a damn. They'll buy a new one. Off they pop. So yeah. You can play it how you wish to play it. And if it turns out there's no way you wish to play it, that's a perfectly valid response as well. You go and play something else. Now, if you are wanting to Did I forget to do the Archon Hunt? Yeah, I did.
The Grineer
Oh well,
want to
shame about
poison
that.
the mighty forests of Earth to make more room for themselves.
Now,
You
if
are
you
here to stop them. Find
don't
the
want to have
toxin
any
mixer.
risk of PvP
My
whatsoever,
intel suggests there are rich
firstly,
evidence
I would
of
suggest you
pathogens in
can
the
still
area, but I am
reframe it in
unable
your
to
mind
pinpoint their
that a
exact
PV,
location.
that
Search
random
map
chance
declares
PvP encounter
the added
is like a
risk.
boss spawn in a game. Sometimes boss spawns will kick your ass. Sometimes in a game you don't win. That's fine. But if you absolutely do not want any risk of that whatsoever, then maybe you're just in the wrong game, yeah. Fair enough. If you don't want there to be any risk whatsoever in your gameplay, then yeah, certainly do not play EVE Online. But I also wonder how much you enjoy Warframe, if that's the case. Hell, there's risk in Minecraft. Well, I guess not in creative. But yeah, you can play creative Minecraft if you want zero risk whatsoever. That exists. Do I have any interest in Monster Hunter games? It's not particularly popped up on my radar, to be honest, no. Not in particular. Nothing against it, just hasn't really become a thing. Salvatore Dracete, that's how I was played too, but not so many guilds or corporations tolerate card players. The whole community is either war-hungry militants or terrorists. There are mission runner groups out there that just want to mission run. Part of being in a group, though, is usually those people want to do stuff together, and usually that, as you've noticed, does become a little bit more militant. But you don't have to do that, and in fact, you don't need to be in a player group specifically. Not in EVE Online, no. There are plenty of people who do play from the NPC corporation or create their own guild, as it were. I am in my own guild. The 3 members in that guild are me, and me. Because it's my 3 characters. You get 3 characters per account. Those are the 3 members of my guild. My corporation. And that's fine. I could still natter with the people in local. Natter with people in various just community channels, whichever ones I choose to engage with. Natter with you guys here in this community. I don't need to be in the same physical group to have social interaction. Believe it or not, that's just a thing. That's because the last guild you were in, you started Silver and burn it to the ground. Not the last one I was in, Robin, but I did burn some to the ground, yes.
The mixer activates the toxin by combining it
That's
with the
also some of the stuff I've done in EVE.
Remove the biocatalyst to render the toxin
That.
harmless.
Long range paraton for the win. Just quadrolled former on a rad share. Oof.
It is highly explosive.
Just oof. At least it was common former and not uncommon. If you got 4 silver formers on a rad share, you'd be like, what even is this? It just slightly hurt. Yeah. Big Hero wondering what they're on about? Yeah, so basically I told a story, a very real story, for which I have proof, as to how I kind of caused the total implosion of a player group in EVE Online, because I took offense to how they operated. And so actively tore them apart from the inside. And it took me all of about an hour or 2. I think it was like 2 hours from start to death. A couple of them, the newer players in the group, were absolutely astounded and pleasantly surprised. They were like, this is the kind of craziness I was signing up for. Oh my god, yes, thank you. Others were understandably upset because I walked in and absolutely obliterated the place. Yeah. But that's what you sign up for in EVE Online. They literally had the settings set to friendly fire on. Literally had that turned on. And they also it brought me into the group without checking my background. So that's on them. that is on them. What's making my enemies glow like that? This right here. Enemy highlight. I have it set to red. 38% intensity. That's what does it. How big was the corp? It was a small corp. It was probably like 20 or so active people at the time, like online at the time. They were in an alliance. Now, this corp, it was a high-sec, we do everything group. Like, oh, we do missions, we do mining, we do industry, we do exploration, high-sec, low-sec, null-sec, wormhole space, PvP, PvE, everything they could click. They said, we do this. Bro, stop running. Which means they do shit all. They recruit new players who don't know any better to then farm them for the tax receipts. Basically. And I took offense to that. And so I joined and showed them what PvP looks like. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And funny thing was, is that the alliance they were in basically did the same to the corporation, what the corporation was doing to the new players they were scooping up. Because the alliance was basically using them for the tax receipts. The alliance, as I saw in the chat when all this was going down, had no intention of coming to help save them from me.
Dangerously high velocity. Keep the Grenier at bay until it melts
Yeah.
down.
So they learned the hard way. I told the full story during the stream on Friday, so you should definitely check out the VOD for that one. Yeah. It was, that was one of my most evil experiences in that game. When you can roleplay anything, I've roleplayed everything. Best Eve story you've heard so far, and you've heard parts of it. In the stream on Friday, I went through exactly how it went down, how I did the bits and pieces, the outcomes of it all. Ooh. I dismantled that group. And a couple of them thanked me for it. the group leader did not. They remain one of the very few people in that group. It's down to, I think, like 5 or 6 people. And I'm willing to bet it's just him and his other characters. Maybe a friend, probably not.
You just destroyed a massive batch of Grenier.
They are no longer in their alliance, because that alliance has closed since. Oh, yeah. And the players that were being basically scammed into having a crappy experience stopped having such a crappy experience. They saw there was more to EVE Online than pointing a laser at a rock and waiting for 30 minutes for something to happen. Fun fact, nothing did. Not that way. Warframe's a much more casual and friendly game. Warframe is a much more friendly and casual game, absolutely. They couldn't be much more different, could Warframe and EVE. Couldn't be much more different.
Now I make the rules.
Salvatore say, actually I have good friends in my corp in EVE Online, but I didn't meet them in game much lately, for I do nothing but run high-sec island encounters, I chat in Discord now and then. Yeah, if that's what you enjoy about the game, enjoy it. Seriously. In fact, you're still a functional, important part of the game economy as well, because you are consuming ammo, maybe drones you leave behind will get accidentally destroyed. You're consuming the ships you purchase for what you do, and you are providing the materials that you pick up, any salvage you might be selling on, any loyalty point items you purchase. You're still part of the living universe. You just found your particular niche. That's brilliant. If you find something you enjoy in a game, enjoy it. Within the rules. Obviously. Duxar say I had a random person call me F earlier as we were waiting to load in the mission left or right after. Well, okay. Not everyone is perfectly nice in Warframe, not everyone's perfectly nasty in EVE Online. Some people in EVE Online honor ransoms, hi! And some people are arsewits in Warframe. You get the outliers in both. Yeah, you get the outliers in both. Don't pay ransoms in EVE Online. Most people will not honor them. Seriously, just don't. I am the odd one out there. Shakura Trinity, just coming to say, I really enjoy your videos on YouTube. It gave me many ideas for different builds and having more fun in the game. Hey, that's exactly what they're there for. Cheers, my dude. Cheers. Ken call it chaotic evil. I'd say it was chaotic good. Liberating enslaved newbies from the greedy capitalist corporation that was exploiting them for tax returns. Basically, Ken was Tenno, Corp was Nefanu, newbies was Solaris. No, at best it was chaotic neutral. But I didn't do it for those particular newbies. I did it because the nature of the corp offended me. and enjoyed the malicious actions in the process. So it was mostly chaotic evil, which just happened to have a positive bend to it. It turns out that I have successfully propagandized you into thinking it was good. Yeah, you are susceptible to propaganda. Got him. Vigilante Ken, also done that in Eve. As in actual vigilante. Sometimes it was successful, sometimes it got obliterated. Swings and roundabouts. Swings and roundabouts. Right then, we know that Netra is necessary to kill this thing. Let's grab a Netra, slap it on there. Beautiful. Let's continue upsetting this Lich. We're not going to have time to do it all today, unless I get really lucky. But we can still upset it a bit.
I claim this sector
Let's do... I don't really want to do any of these. What one's that one? Spy? Yeah, let's do the Spy.
See how I serve you, mistresses. See!
We played Eve Echoes, we like 16, got held for around 20 times. Eve Echoes does have a actual safe zone, from what I understand. I've never actually touched Eve Echoes. Never had a reason to, so I don't actually know a lot about how it's different. But it is different. Why don't I have all on? I don't need to use all, so I'm not using it. Right now it wouldn't really do me any benefit, so I'm just not using it. It gives me a chance of faster completion. I don't need it. I enjoy playing the game enough to not need it. Right, continuing to try and kill as many as possible to cause as many thralls to spawn as possible. All gives extra murmur. How? So you say what? If you stab... Oh, let me do this correctly. You stab the Lich multiple times, you get extra murmurs? Didn't think they did there. If you stab the Lich just once, any amount of stabbage on it, that's enough to give you the murmur. That's enough. Get rid of these Eximus. Hello, thing over here. I see you on my radar. Where are you? Oh, wait. Oh, you're all the way up there. Hello. Flap. I am screwing the timing up on that massively. There we go. Really screwed that pooch. Ooh, nearly hit it. There we are. Oh, almost. Almost got that one. All right. That was my understanding, Solomon. I might be wrong on that. I'm just going to cipher it. Pubs make it go faster because the failed stab of bubbles give you -2. There is that, but then you also get people who will stab it once and then just let the Lich sit there. And now they have to do it 3 times over. It's like, oh, for crying out loud. We want other things to happen, not just for you to be scared of leveling up a Lich. Christ. Which is a big reason I don't do it. Because it doesn't matter if it makes my overall time faster, it increases my frustration, which reduces my fun per hour. That's a term straight from EVE Online, by the way. Fun per hour. Measure your gameplay by that, and you'll find you have the best gameplay ever. It's not ISK per hour, not Endo per hour, not missions per hour, it's fun per hour. It's a really effective measure. Sam, realize that D's were used in terminology. It's getting weird. We started talking about them in sequence. Yeah. Like, if we get Murmur Liches, then we'd be farming Murmur on the Murmur. And I wonder, is it... Well, bollocks. I fucked that one up, didn't I? See, that was close to what I was supposed to do. There we are. Whatever. Yeah, I wonder, is a group of Murmur called a Murmuration? Because we could farm a Murmur from a Murmuration of Murmur. And that just sounds fun. Well, that was weird. Come on, there we are. Yes! Nailed the jump. Netra and Netracells. I mean, that makes sense because it's Void Tongue. It's kind of crazy that they are overusing that bit of Void Tongue, but it's just Void Tongue. Like, that'd be the same as getting upset between mod and module. Same route. Stab. Oh, that was correct. Nice. Stab. Second stab. Oh, okay. If I hadn't all on the last lot, this would actually been an instant win. Wait, what? 58% Kuma Sobek second run, followed by landing that first time it spawns with only one revealed, and that's the one I changed. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. Oh, this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. I'm just going to stab this guy for good measure. Hope he won't get banned. I won't get banned. Sometimes you just get lucky. Oh man, this has been a great weekend. Right, you stream to this? Woo! Absolutely. Oh wow. That's spicy. I haven't even finished leveling the Tenet Glaxion. I genuinely expected to level the Tenet Glaxion from this. Yeah, I kind of figured out it's fast. Thanks, game. Kind of figured it out. And the Yahoo, yeah. Way ahead. Oh, man, that is... Woo! Wrong button. What am I... My brain went, oh yeah, it's the final fight. Yeah, we go to final fight spot. Dummy. Well then. 58% Toxic Sobek and 1 run on the Lich. Yep. This Lich is just handing it to me. Finish stream by claiming the weapon. Yeah, we haven't even technically gone over time. Oh my god, wow. I mean, this mission's going to put us over time, but still.
Hold your heart in my hand, I will whisper.
Oh, shut up, Lichticle.
Grenier forces massing alongside that galleon.
Missiles.
Their captain is nervous.
And so lucky I'm no longer having fun. Wow.
Infiltrate and terminate.
You're that mad, bro. That mad.
Keep them off the ship.
Flat.
Enemy fighters down.
Hey, that didn't use a dome charge. Perfect. Next cruise ship, please. Be on scan.
That clears up some space.
Please be in front of me. Please be. Yeah!
Alert. Enemy cruise ship on
Next one down. Also didn't use a shot. And the next one's right there. Oh, that's beautiful. Just stop it moving.
Has gone bye-bye.
Ah, there we are. That's done.
Enemy fighters are falling back. Good work.
Alright. Board the galleon.
Cruise ship reactor has detonated. Pretty.
Has having fun is achieved his fun per hour? Absolutely.
Kill its captain.
Maximum flight speed. Swing us in. That'll do. 1 minute, can I do it? I don't think I can kill the Lich that quickly. Especially if I do that. Ugh. How to stop the cruise ship from moving? Blackout pulse.
Tenno, here, protect me.
And how do I one-shot them? I've got maxed out damage on that. Just straight up maxed it. This way, this way.
kill me. Will
Hi.
not.
Oh, it turned me around. That's cheating.
No! Found me! Found me, you did! I'm not ready! Need more time!
Level 1 Lich, eh? There we go.
Wait, no!
Well, that scene looks stupid with the Z levels. Alright. Alright, well, yeah, that's that. Off we pop.
Captain terminated. Closing
Yeah.
mission.
That works.
Avail yourselves of action, but no more than 5 minutes downtime.
Oh, man, that is, that was quick. Yeah. Alright, chat, we're about to do our Platinum raffle. Let's see if you feel as lucky as I do today. We're going to be giving away Platinum to one lucky winner on the channel here. Exclamation mark ticket for a chance to win it. You may have grabbed a ticket throughout the stream. If you already have done so, you don't need to grab it again. If you haven't, obviously now's your time to grab it. How geared up does your Railjack need to be before you should go fight your Lich? If you could do a normal mission on Saturn Proxima, you're good enough. So just go run a normal mission Saturn Proxima. If that works, you're fine. Off you pop. That's all you need. At least in terms of Railjack. And if your Railjack isn't up to scratch, then you can hope to queue with someone else who's about to do it instead, if their Railjack's better.
Hello.
Hello. Oh wow, this was... oh. That was too easy. Ridiculously easy. The only way this could have been more ridiculous is if it also came with an ephemera. Let's be real now. If there was an ephemera with it as well, that would have just pushed it over the edge. Even I'd be calling shenanigans at that point. Oh. Move the Sobek. It still didn't finish leveling the Glaxion. Kuva, Sobek. 57.9%. Ooh. And the Glaxion's a 53.7 as well. Just to remind y'all on that. A 53.7 Glaxion, a 57.9 Sobek. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Right then. The only disappointments, we'll need to wait for next week to see where this weapon is going. I suppose there is that, yeah. I suppose. What's the reload time on Kuva Sobek? Good question, let's find out. On the Kuva Sobek, the said reload time, was it? Yeah, reload time 2.1 seconds, which compared to normal Sobek is actually faster because normal Sobek is 2.7. There you go. At least according to the arsenal there. Ta-da! I don't need to max out the Glaxion Umbrella. We've seen just how powerful it is. We're fine. It's doing just fine as it is. That little bit of min-max, not necessary, because on a direct damage basis, assuming that's everything we need to care about, we'd go from that to that. A 4% damage increase. I'm not going to go farm 1 or 2 more Glaxions for a 4% increase. No. No. Alright, that's enough time for everyone to grab some tickets. If you haven't already grabbed some tickets, then tough. You've had your opportunity. So let's close the giveaway. And let's see who is the winner. There's only going to be one of you. Could be on any platform. Could be on PlayStation, Switch, PC, or Xbox. The winner today is going to be Joyeuse03. That's Joy, Joyeuse03. Joyeuse, congratulations, you are the winner today. I'll be contacting you shortly after the end of the stream in your Twitch DMs to get hold of your Warframe username, your platform, and your cross-save status. Will get that platinum sent on over to you there. Congratulations, Joyeuse. And to everyone else in the channel today, thank you very, very much for joining in. But don't go anywhere just yet. We are going to be raiding on over to another part of the Warframe community. Let's see. Who can we raid to today? Who can we raid to today? Hello, someone. Sorry to let you know, you might be a little bit late to the stream here today, dude. Just a little bit late. Silver suggesting Perk, Zion, Roan, Dinos. We won't go to Perk because they actually stop at the same time as us, Sil. Good shout, but we won't go there. So in which case, I think it's a Dinos time. I think it's been a hot second since we've last been to a Dino stream, so I'm just going to load that up on my side. Just to make sure that I'm past all the adverts, because otherwise it's annoying. You know how it is. Adverts during a raid, you. Oh, look at that. They're also doing lich hunting right now. Alright. There we are. Should you grind assassinations? That's not really a question I can answer, because assassinations, you'd only grind them if you want what you get from them, and if you want what you get from them, then yes. Anyway, that's all we got time for today. Thank you very much for joining in, everyone. I will see you again on Wednesday for more Warframe. In the meantime, be on your absolute best selves. Have a brilliant, brand new week, and let's go say hello to dinos. Until then, bye-bye.